I was up there buying some random bullshit. Dun, dun, ba, 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 dun, ba. That's what we should do.
Oh my God.
Dun, dun, ba, 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 dun, ba.
It only does it the one time, though, doesn't it?
Dun,
Does it keep
dun,
going?
ba, 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 ba,
Imagine how annoying that song would if it was just kept going.
Ba, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, 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 da. Do, 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 do.
All right, that's enough of that.
Especially heinous or whatever.
But a lot of people, that's their story. Good times, Noodle Salad.
Okay, what
Yeah.
song are we starting with?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I like the lighting right now. It's different.
Yeah,
I do kind of like that.
Those white lights on those bars are. I'm surprised. I've never used it before.
I like
the way it looks. It's like I don't know. It's a pure white light. And
Yeah.
It's cool looking.
I like that when I look at our socials, there's there's mini seasons of our shorts because it's like this one's
Different
all purple,
colors.
this one's
Yeah.
all green, this one's all red.
Yeah.
I do like changing the colors every time. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, man, you gotta set the mood, you know.
Yeah.
But not only that, it's
Speaking
fun.
of setting the mood,
Yes.
what song are we singing?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. You pick one. Pick one.
Tribute.
Oh, I hate. No.
You don't hate that song.
I don't hate that song, but I told you before, like singing a funny song
It's a little weird.
is weird.
Yeah.
As like we should do a serious song because it's stupider.
Yeah.
It's funnier.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Or just make a silly song like this. Okay.
This chair rocks a little bit. It's a new chair.
Noodle salad. Good times, noodle salad. Good times, noodle salad. Good times, noodliest of salads. Is that okay? Is that what you wanted?
That was something.
It was something.
That was something.
It felt like a lot. It
was a lot. I'm hot. I'm glad I shut your heat off.
I don't know why you run hot, dude. It could be 90 in here and I wouldn't even care.
Yeah. That's weird to me.
I like the place I work at's pretty like probably 75, 80 degrees most of the time unless it's really, really cold out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
And I'll still wear a hoodie all day.
That's weird to me. I work outside most of the outside or in new buildings.
Well, maybe because it's been cold out and you're outside a lot
Yeah.
for work that the heat feels way hotter because
Yeah.
you're so used to being on the cold.
That's probably what it is. Because like in the wintertime, in the summertime, I'm like freezing cold in a regular house.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right.
It's just acclimation. We should do the entire podcast like that, not even saying like.
I started to tell you this.
Oh, I didn't need to not put that on there.
Yeah, that's the table where the noise comes from. My God.
Let's one more time.
It sounds like we're hitting a bong.
It does, doesn't it?
I want to talk to Samson.
Fly me to the moon. Something I don't even know what the words are. We talked about that before. We were gonna do that song today.
Yeah,
but I literally didn't even look at the lyrics. I didn't even try. I was just like, I don't know.
Me either, dude. So I was gonna tell you, my buddy Tommy was all excited about this fucking lobster festival coming up. We were working together, and I told him, dude, I swear to God, if you say the word lobster one more time, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing about this lobster festival.
Yeah.
He spent a 10-hour shift literally only saying the words lobster or butter.
He's just a lobster.
And we were partners, one-on-one, working together. I'd be like, dude, is this 90 going to turn this way or is it going to turn that way? And he'd be like, lobster.
Butter.
And then I'm like, what the fuck do you, come on, dude. This is work. I need like information. He's like, butter.
I love that.
Literally for 10 hours. It reminded me of you.
awesome.
That's why I fucking hated him by the end of the
Yeah,
shift.
yeah.
Our superintendent.
I do that stuff all the time.
Our
at work.
superintendent came up to the floor we were working on at the powerhouse.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's up, Tommy? Walk me through what you guys got going on. He goes, lobster, butter. And he's like, what? And he didn't give up the bit, even for the super.
Even for that's crazy.
Didn't give up the bit. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I was like, he's been doing this to me for like 9 hours already.
I love it.
I was so mad by the time I left.
Oh my God. I
would
get along with that guy.
You would.
Or we would hate each other.
No, Tom's great. You'd love him.
Because we would just both try to annoy the shit out of each other.
Yeah, he reminded me of like a bit you would do growing up. Like I was like, fuck it. That's probably why I was so annoyed by it.
I was gonna save this for whenever we had Scotty on the podcast, but remember put a jacket on.
My fucking God, dude. Because of a state trooper.
I don't remember. See, I don't remember where that even started. I was going to ask you.
I can tell you.
Yeah, tell me, because you have a better memory.
Well,
about
first of all,
like
we need to set up the fact that you and Scott, anytime I bitched or moaned, you guys would be like, put a jacket on.
Put a jacket on.
Like it was like, here, let me undercut your complaint by saying you just need to put a jacket on.
Put a jacket on.
I went to, where we grew up, there was a liquor store like 1 block away.
Yeah.
So we would always go there and buy bullshit. Like anytime of us kids, like when we were growing up,
right,
we would take our change from the couch or whatever, and we'd go up there and buy a candy bar. We'd buy pop, whatever.
Right.
One time I took like $4 worth of quarters up there to buy a gallon of milk so I could have cereal. Anyway, I was up there buying some random bullshit. Dun, dun, ba, 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 dun, ba. That's what we should do.
Oh my God.
Dun, dun, ba, 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 dun, ba.
It only does it the one time, though, doesn't it?
Dun,
Does it keep going?
ba, ba, da, ba,
Imagine how annoying that song would if it was just kept going.
Ba, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, 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 da. Do, do, do.
All right, that's enough of that.
Especially heinous or whatever. I don't know why people get in. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So we go to this fucking liquor store. I go to this liquor store probably to buy a candy bar because I had $1 burning a hole in my pocket. I walk up. It's like September and it's like 45 out, which in Michigan is like long t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
I go up there. I'm standing in line behind a state trooper who's got to be 7 feet tall. And he pays for his whatever. And he turns to me and he goes, put a jacket on. And I was like,
that's how this started?
I was like, fuck you, guy. Like, you don't even, like, I'm not, you have no reason to talk to me. Buy your coffee and get out of here.
That's how that started?
And I came home and I told you the story. And you and Scott turned it into a fucking 15-year-long bit.
Oh my God. I didn't even know that's how that started.
The dumbest thing of all time
Yeah.
is a throwaway comment from a state trooper.
That's awesome.
Put a jacket on.
Yeah. But me and Scotty have a lot of those. We heard someone say, oh boy, one time.
Oh boy.
There was this, no, not even like that. I don't know if it stemmed from a guy that I worked
oodles
with.
And noodles.
Oh yeah, oodles and noodles. Oh, dude, we should say that on our clips. Oodles of noodles, dude. Oh,
oodles of noodles.
Oodles and noodles.
Oh, yeah.
Oodles and noodles.
Is it oodles of noodles?
Yeah.
That's the cup brand, right?
I don't know. It was
oodles
something.
of noodles.
I don't know. We just used to say it.
So
I think
stupid.
I don't know. There's cup of noodles. I don't know.
Cup o' noodles. Oodles of noodles.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The other one you guys used to say all the
we
time.
used to say a lot, dude. Oh boy is another one. Oh. Or I'm a woman, and I don't know where that one came from, but that I'm a woman. Oh, Happy Holidays is another one. Happy Holidays. There's a story behind that. Me and him were drunk Christmas caroling in fast food in fast food drive-through lines.
You were Christmas caroling
drunk,
in fast food
drunk
fast
Christmas caroling. This is when we were teenagers or late teens, early 20s. And one of the ones we did was like, we were just like, we would pull up and just be like, we weren't drunk, but we were, had a couple, drinks in us or whatever. And we'd pull up and we wouldn't even order anything. We'd just be like, happy holidays. And then we would drive off. And we did that to like at a handful of places. And we talk about it all the time now. Yeah, we used to do a lot of fun shit.
Jesus Christ. That was probably the most common one. You guys saying it like Mr. Hand or whatever. No, not Mr. Hands.
Mr. Hands.
That's the guy that got fucked to
by
death.
Yeah, you
By
got
a horse.
by a
No.
horse.
What's the teacher from South Park?
Mrs. Garrison.
Mrs. Garrison?
Yeah.
The guy with the puppet.
He became a woman in the show.
Oh,
Mrs. Garrison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that was
that's Big A. It was Big AL.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Jesus, that's when he sticks Paris Hilton up his ass.
Yeah.
he like out whores her by putting her entire body in his asshole.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
God, South Park is. I gotta start watching that again.
Dude,
I had that drink voice where it was just like, do you hear it? I sound like, dude. If I did a low,
you sound like you're gurgling.
Yeah. That was weird.
You were telling me about you and your buddy Chris doing prank calls.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it was so fucking funny.
Okay, we used to do prank calls all the time. We just opened the yellow pages and then we would play music to make it. Dun, 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 dun. Doom, doo, 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 doo. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust this real quick. Oh, I can't. We're gonna have to get new. We gotta get new ones of these. All right, so. Okay, that's enough of that. So we used to do these prank calls, and we would play songs on there and stuff, and then like be like, "Oh, this is W blah blah blah," whatever. Well, one of the things, because we were talking about singing Prince songs and how funny that would be, and it reminded me of this thing me and my old friend Chris used to do. And we would, one of the things we did was we had a pretend radio show, and we'd call people and prank them, and then we would record it. I wish I could find the recordings. They're probably somewhere at Mom's house, 100%. There's a cassette tape somewhere. But one of the things we did is there's this track by Prince where it's like do sex in the summer, and that's how the song starts. I'm pretty sure. And so in the summertime, that's what we did. Like we would just like, it would be like do sex in the summer. Like, this is W blah blah blah, whatever. And then we do pranks. Well, one of the pranks we did was later that year during Christmas time, and to win a Beatles compilation album, you had to tell us how many fa's were in fa la 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 la. And I kid you not, we called this random woman out of the yellow pages. She'd go, hi, and we're like, when we played some other Christmas theme song, and then we're like, oh, this is W blah, 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 right? And then, like, we're like, all right, so if you guess this correctly, you will win a Beatles compilation album. And so, like, it's like, how many fa's are in fa la 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 la? And there's, like, 30 to 60 seconds of silence. And then she's like, one? And we're like, you got it. Stay on the line. And we'll get your information to send you that Beatles compilation. We just hang up. I had so much fun as a kid, dude. Me and Andy Lowe's. I don't know if you remember this. Me and Andy used to make all kinds of funny songs. Like we'd play his piano like really stupidly, and I would just say words and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we had a song called Cantaloupe, and I just said like cantaloupe and tried to rhyme the word with words that it was just stupid, but it's so funny. I did that too with Scotty. He probably still has videos of it. I had videos of me playing acoustic, like probably 20, 30 videos of me playing acoustic guitar and making funny songs. Like one of the songs I did was My Name is Count Chocula.
I remember this one.
And I was like, my name is Count Chocula. And now suck the fudge out of your. I was like out of your, and I couldn't think of anything. And then Scotty with the background's like testicle lights. Dude, it was so funny. I like that shit. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun being stupid.
When I first started dating Paige, her her brother passed away, and she would show me videos of him playing songs and like making up these really stupid songs. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like him and I would have all been like best friends instantly.
Oh,
I was
100%.
like, it's literally like everything that we did growing up was the kind of shit that he did.
Yeah.
Just like writing really silly, stupid songs.
Yeah.
And like she has a video of him like trying to seduce her friend via like Snapchat video. So like she would take a video of herself and like pan to him and he'd start singing a song, like talking about whatever. They you know what videos you reminded me of when you started talking about this though was the videos that you reminded me of when you started talking about this were the videos I found on the VHS.
We're gonna do it every time now. Okay, I'm just kidding. I feel like you're doing a different song.
SVU?
I don't remember like all that high part stuff. I don't know. I just know dun 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 dun.
Okay, you do the low parts, I'll do the high parts.
Okay. I don't want to derail you. What were you saying? Or you want to do?
I was saying.
Do I keep going?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is weird. I'm not doing this. Were you about to jump in?
I was about to jump in. Okay, we got to start over.
This whole podcast is going to be the SVU theme. That's what it's called. SVU.
I like when they go bam 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 bam. There's so many videos of people like dancing to that. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like like it'll just say like I don't know, like when SVU comes on and it'll just be some girl like walking and like twisting her feet like fucking Elvis, just like all excited like
Oh shit. So funny.
The videos, what you reminded me of when you're talking about the prank calls though is the videos that I found on the VHS camcorder that we had. I was playing with the camcorder and I rewound and found tapes that you and Scott had made together.
Oh, really?
And yeah, because I was like, I don't know, maybe like 11 or 12 years old and I just wanted to play with the camcorder. And I found videos of you standing on mom's couch in like full like metal gear, like you're all like did up with like spiky hair and shit.
Yeah.
And you're like playing guitar on mom's couch in like combat boots and then just hard cut to you setting my door on fire.
No, that by the way, that was not Scotty, that was Chris. I remember that day.
Oh.
So we made all these short films. We made like a fake horror film where we like used LeBryce as maggots and then we like I think Andy fell asleep and we just turned him into an entire horror and comedy film. He fell asleep and one of the things he did was we put like fake blood on the side of his mouth and then put like maggots on it and or rice on it like maggots.
Yeah.
And then another thing we did is like we had this hot dog and we made a little turban and we made a little like terrorist hot dog and we were like it was like walking over his face while he was sleeping. I feel bad. No wonder why the guy don't talk to me no more. But yeah, and then one of the things, we would spray hairspray and stuff and light it on fire and whatever. I mean, hairspray burns up quick, so it doesn't hurt anything. But yeah, mom saw that by the way, and then I got in some deep shit.
Well, you should have. You fucking
Yeah,
setting her house on fire for fun.
Yeah.
Just like my bedroom door on fire.
It wasn't on fire. I sprayed like hairspray on it.
It wasn't a little. It was like a heart. It was like a 2-foot tall heart that you lit on fire.
Yeah.
I was so mad at you when I found that video too, because I had drawn this like huge like, I had drawn this like I there was like a menu or something that we kept. So it was like 2 foot wide by like 16 inches or something, or 18 inches tall.
Yeah.
So it was this huge piece of paper that I could draw on.
Yeah.
And I had drawn this like elaborate clown, like a bunch of clowns with weapons, like fighting each other. I had drawn this like huge scene, and I was like I spent a long time on it. So I was like, this is cool as fuck. And I hung it on my door. I found that video. You assholes took it off my door and put a bloody handprint on it for your video. Fucking ruined the drawing with a bloody handprint.
Oh, did we?
I was like, you fucking, no wonder. I was wondering what happened. I thought Mom took it down, but it was you and Chris and Andy. You fucking jerks.
We had so much fun though. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, we had fun. I'm sorry, but I'm not, because I had a good time that day. It was a fun night. We did so much stupid shit.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was hilarious.
Dude, we were talking about. I've been like loosely looking at studio spaces, not because I'm serious about it, because I'm not right now.
Yeah,
but I just want to be prepared. I want to have all the information I can of like what's the best way to go about this. What's weird to me is that you were like 19 years old renting a practice space, and I can't find anything even remotely similar to that.
I was in a band with. They have them. You can find them. They're all in Warren.
What were you guys paying for? Or like, how much were you guys paying for the practice space?
I don't remember. Like $500 or $600 back then. But there was 5 of us, so it was easy.
Oh, I didn't know it was that much money. Because so I don't know that much about it. I went there a couple times.
Then we split it with another band. And then they destroyed the place, and then we had to fix it.
Yeah, I do remember there was like holes in the drywall and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, they had a drunken party and destroyed the place. Like the door was fucked. Everything was fucked.
Yeah.
The fucking drop ceiling. The guy who fucked up the drop ceiling did come and fix it himself. He's like, I was just wasted, man. I'll fix it. I was like, okay, that's cool.
At least he did that. I don't know that much about the space, but
that's why
I do. Okay, so it was basically like what, 4 rooms that were built? It was a
warehouse. Yeah, it was a warehouse.
It was like 4 rooms that were built inside of a warehouse.
Yeah.
Like rooms that were the size of like one like shipping container total. But like it was like
it was a decent size. I don't remember.
So like each room was probably 300 square feet, and there's like 4 of them all attached to each other.
Yeah.
And then so like you walk into this warehouse building, and there's just shit everywhere, and then there's this like random framed like house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was, so you
that
walk
was
in
the practice area.
Yeah, I mean,
in
that's
the front though, like next to the, there was like the walk-in door, and then in the front there was the bay door. Well, next to that bay door was an entire music studio.
Oh, I didn't know that
either. I just like the entire time I was there, and then when we were about to leave, we found out from another guy. Oh yeah, there's a guy that owns that it's like an entire music. It's like, we could have recorded albums here.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's stupid. How did I not know about this?
Right.
Whatever. But that was a nightmare. It was only a nightmare because we shared the space, and it turned into a whole debacle, and we were like, hey, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Was it the Goat Scroat days?
No, I don't. What was the name of that group? I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember the name of the group. That was when.
We've both been in 25 fucking bands.
That was. The same members of like half. Almost all the members of Goat Scroat, but it wasn't Goat Scroat. It was something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I had a lot of fun then, though.
Yeah,
a good time.
I went there one time, and I like played skate with some guy I didn't even know the whole time. Like me and him skateboarded.
Yeah.
In the warehouse part of it the whole time. Like me and him just played against each other. Played horse like the whole time. I do remember somebody had like a Transformers mask. I don't know why that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, we had something hanging up, I think.
It was cool though.
We had a Transformers.
I mean, to think about being like early 20s and having like a practice space that's not someone's house.
Yeah, it was cool because we would even if we didn't jam, we would just go up there and hang out, and I loved it. It was just cool to hang out there.
Yeah. See, I posted on I'm on a few podcasting groups on Facebook just to like get advice from people about like how to do certain stuff or whatever. And I posted, I was like, how do have any of you guys branched out of personal space and gone into like a professional space, like an office or like rent a building or whatever? And if so, how did you do it?
Yeah.
And one of the comments I got was like, you're wasting your resources if you do that. I have guests from all over the world, and I was like, yeah, but you must do them over Twitch, like, because you're not bringing guests from all over the world to your house.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
if you are, I don't know, I wouldn't want to do that.
I
I
don't
don't mind
wanna-
having some people, but in our private spaces. But I mean, when you start branching out and you're just meeting random people that would be good guests,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with that.
it's a little weird.
It's like this is my place of peace and happiness, and I don't want there to be any weirdness here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all. And it's not even like I'd be worried about them coming here or anything. It's not like I have anything.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's not like there's diamonds everywhere, and I'm worried about that. It's just more or less like if the energy's bad and the feeling's bad, I don't want the place that I like, that I enjoy regularly, to be a place of where a memory of like some annoying shit.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, but I do. Well, I agree with that, but I also think that having an actual studio would be a little more inspiring to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Well, we'll
go to
have more
work and have
space, too.
work. Like to go to work and like it be work, but
Yeah.
like be like, okay, this is where we create.
Yeah.
Instead of like, there is something a little when the studio was at my house, I was like we could get into the conversations, but also it felt like kind of like a home gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's still at home. Like you're not in the mood you're not in gym mode. You're at home mode.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think having a dedicated place where,
Yeah.
and me and Paige talked about this because we host parties constantly. I was like, it would be sweet to have a space that'd be big enough to like be able to host parties there.
Yeah.
And not have, you know what I mean? Like if it's like in a real office that has, like if this was one of the rooms of the office,
Yeah.
and we had like a common area, like one of the places we looked at,
Yeah.
that would be sick to be able to be like, hey, we're having the birthday party at the studio.
Yeah.
Come on by.
Well, I was thinking, I mean, on top of that, I agree with that. It'd be cool to have a space to host events at too. I like 100%, because there's a million things that we could do with that. You could host just family parties. We could host
meet and greets or
meet
whatever.
and greets. We could do another thing I was thinking too is like when I get a little bit more balls deep in the music stuff, dropping albums and having little album release get-togethers there.
Yeah.
Another thing
And
I thought
also,
about
also a practice space for music.
See, this is where I was going to head to. That is that you and I are both musicians. We have been since we were children.
Yeah.
And we always watched this show called Daryl's House, which was Daryl from Hall & Oates, right?
Yeah.
And he would have guests over, and then they would write music. And I was thinking, how cool would it be on certain occasions to have a dedicated space for just the podcasting, but then also have a room set up with cameras and recording equipment? Because I've found so much amazing audio recording equipment online that's like really affordable, and I was like, I don't have the space for it though. Like, I mean, I saw an entire studio desk with a built-in mixer board that like professional grade, high-end studio stuff, and they're selling it for cheap because they've upgraded to something else, and they're like, well, what are we going to do with this, 5,000 pound weight that we don't even use anymore?
Yeah.
So I'm like, God, like if I had the space, I would have bought. It was like $2,000 for a $30,000 piece of equipment.
It's just a price.
Because he's just trying
to get rid of it.
Yeah, it works. Everything works. And I even messaged the guy, but I'm like, I'm not. Where am I going to put it? It would take up half this room.
Yeah.
Or a quarter of this room.
Right.
So I was thinking if we had a designated space for audio recording with some cameras set up, and then we do a podcast and we have musicians on, we jam together, and that becomes part of the episode.
Yes. As a jam session with these musicians.
So I'm like, why not, dude? We could do it all. And then I've also, I was talking to you briefly today about it, but I've recently got in touch with a guy that I'm buying some stuff off of, and he's a tech whiz, but he's also a musician, a music producer, professional. And, I was talking to him, running some of these ideas by him because we just started chat. He just started random chat about what he does for work and what he does for his free time. He builds PCs, he builds networks. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to like live stream direct, or even just if we don't live stream, directly record right into a software. I want to have like a jam space that we can like throw up some cameras and like live record us jamming, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's easy. He's like, it's fine. I was like, well, to me, it's not easy because I'm not in that headspace. Like,
it's not my forte.
So it's cool that I'm like, dude, we got to stay in touch because there's
That's
so
what's
much stuff.
dude. That's what's exciting about this. Like,
Yeah.
I remember talking to you about like when I had my painting business and how I was like making the comparison of my painting business being like doing little side quests all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you meet somebody and then somebody, you know, whatever. So all these connections grow and then and then you're meeting new people all the time and collaborating all the time. Well, this is now like getting momentum of like now we have like 4 guests lined up, which is exciting. Like, you know, so that's the next step in the podcast is getting guests and having them on. And dude, I'm super excited to have guests.
Yeah.
Especially interesting ones. Like, you know, farming came up a couple episodes ago. Yeah. And because of that, we started talking about like, dude, we should have somebody that like actually knows what they're talking about, lived in this world.
Absolutely.
So now we have a guy that's like, he graduated from Michigan State in 1970. He's been farming ever since. So like to talk to a guy who's been farming for 50 years. Yeah. I'm pumped to sit down. Yeah, that'll be an awesome episode. You know, and then you know, I know like a couple of comedians that are working in Michigan, like you know, local Michigan comedians that are working,
which will be awesome. I think we need to do this. I don't want to say I was hesitant about it. It's just more or less bringing people into my private space for this because we haven't expanded to a studio yet. But I think we got to do it.
I think it's the next step. Yeah. I think this is the next push to like for this thing to grow.
One thing for sure. Not that this needs to be, I guess, said out loud, but I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. I think there's things that we want to do. Like we were talking about table setup and like, you know, set setup and stuff like that. So I'm excited because it's got the gears turning like 24/7 on like, oh, what would be a cool idea? Yeah. Could we make this look better, feel better? How could we have because right now I don't know, like realistically, like that we need a table and this would get pushed down another like 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's some stuff that we could definitely. I do want to keep this desk though because I think if we do move into a studio space, we're gonna need like an engineering station, and I think that desk would be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to get rid of it for sure. But yeah, dude, I mean, well, everything that we're doing is like one more step towards like, I mean, we're trying to refine what we're doing and make it all work, you know? So, I mean, I know we're kind of like breaking the fourth wall and just talking about the podcast while podcasting, which like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. We don't do it often. It's not like we're always doing it. So I think discussing
this whole thing
potential ventures would be cool.
Yeah. You know? I mean, this whole thing is trying to be creative in a different way. And then like, and you know, like, that's like one of the first things we talked about on the podcast is needing a creative outlet that isn't as, you know, unobtainable as music, you know. Yeah. We've both been musicians our whole lives, and to get a band together and then get that band to like commit. Yeah. And then write something that everyone's happy with and then be able to like go perform it. It's fucking impossible.
It's tough.
It's impossible. Especially because the people that you run into when you're a musician are normally, I mean, the people that gravitate towards making rock or metal music are fucking, they're not reliable people for the most part, man.
Yeah. And even if they are, just like as you get older, like everybody has families. It's just tough.
Dude. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
That's why I try to convince everyone that I know that's in a band, I'm like, and that complains about it. I'm like, just don't do it. Do your own stuff. Literally, you're set up to like, I know some people that are set up to record anything they want. They have all the instrumentation themselves. Just do it yourself. What are you talking about? Yeah. Quit complaining. There is something cool about being in a band and having the camaraderie and like enjoying that experience together. But like, so then have like live musicians that you jam with that, you know, you'll perform your stuff with, you know. I think that's the way to go. Like there is a little bit of like, I love writing music myself. Like I love it. I mean, I love what I've been doing, but at the same time, there's still that touch of loneliness loneliness, but not in like the weird, not in a weird sense, but like applicable to the music writing process. It's like, it's just me, myself, and I. And then when I release it, it's like now it's way more effort for one guy to market and advertise and put their stuff out there and get people to even listen to it. When it's one guy, when you got 5 guys, it's a little, if they're all semi-committed enough to share it and get people interested, even if each people have, you know, has 10 or 50 people, you know, 10 to 50 people that are listening to their stuff. I mean, that's right there. That alone is as much as like the followers I have in Instagram right now. Now, mind you, I've only been doing it a handful of months.
Yeah.
And I'm really not social media privy, but like, and I'm doing okay, you know? And it's funny too, because like, there's some weird sides to it too. It's like someone might hate, like there was this guy this friend of mine that's a musician that I showed one of my tracks to, and he's like, I don't like it. I don't like how it sounds. He's like, I like the arrangement. I don't like how it sounds at all. I hate, like, something's wrong with it. So I was like, I messed with it and I reposted it like a week ago, right? And I re-put it on my website, whatever. It is the number one track I've made. And I texted him yesterday and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to take your advice anymore, because I was like, this is my most popular track now. And he goes, but then I was like, but it could have been your critique that made it better. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. But it's weird because I don't have that. So I have to constantly ask people about how they, what they're hearing in it and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's tough doing it on your own. But at the same time, it's also gets rid of a lot of BS.
There is something. Well, I mean, that's probably the biggest thing is the drama that comes along with trying to maintain relationships with 5 men who all have their own intentions.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is something that isn't happening, which is like when you and I and Matt and Scott were in a band.
Yeah,
someone would bring something in and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm dicking around with, and then it would like spark this inspiration of like, oh dude, okay, we could do this,
right?
And then you get this like influx of energy where like I mean, like the 3 songs that we have recorded from that band, or I think there's 4, but whatever.
Yeah,
the songs that we have recorded of that band were all like one day written songs.
Yeah.
And it was always because like Matt came in with a riff, and then you were like, oh, because you're doing that, I can do this, and then and then me writing drum parts is just waiting for you for the rhythm section to figure out their part.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, dude, I do miss that. I do miss that, but having the podcast and work and school and 3 kids, it's like
you don't have time.
It's like I'll pick up drumsticks again in the future. Now's not the time.
Right, right. Yeah, it would be cool. I wish I was set up where I could, when we get a studio space, I'll be so much happier. And I'm really hoping, even with my own music stuff, it'd be cool to have some other people do the like live percussion for it, including yourself. Yeah. Because I think if we did a podcast and did a little jam session and had you record some stuff or whatever, like quick 20, 30-minute session every day, because I'm taking my time with a lot of tracks now, because I'm really trying to write more in-depth stuff and really hone it in instead of just like dumping constantly. My creativeness has slowed down, but now I'm focusing more on technique and getting my skill levels back up.
What you were playing when I walked in here was sweet. I mean, it's like I want to see more of that out of you, because there like the first maybe 2 or 3 months of your writing. Yeah. I don't want to say predictable, but I understood what the structure of your song was going to be, like immediately. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, he's going to take this away and then reintroduce it later. Yeah. And build it up, Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean,
honestly, everything up to this point has been me just learning how to use this software. Yeah. It is way less about the music.
Well, it's a steep learning curve. I mean, we used Fruity Loops for 10 fucking years.
Yeah, if not longer.
Probably longer. 15. I mean, I remember playing on it in 2003.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, that'd be 20 years if I...
Yeah, 22 years. Yeah. Yeah. If we were still doing it,
I was still doing it, yeah.
So I would say a good 15 years, like, I was primarily using Fruity Loops. And now I've moved into Logic, and there's just so much. It's super user friendly and super easy to use. But then now I'm also doing cinematic stuff, so like the sound quality is way different. You don't just compress the shit out of stuff and put effects on it to make it sound cool and just pan it and it's done. It's like, honestly, you're trying to do more with less. Yeah, and that's the hard part. But so that part's been a huge learning curve, and it's getting better and better every track I put out. Way better, and so I'm stoked. It's going really well though, and the writing process is I'm trying to incorporate more. Basically the idea of what my end goal is to blend some jazzy stuff classical and cinematic stuff, and that is what I want. That's what I want to do. So that's what I've been writing more of lately is this blend of cinematic and jazz and some classical stuff. And the only reason I say classical is because, you know, classical is very structured, right? It's very like, this is a waltz, this is a blah blah blah, right? This is this effect, you know.
Yeah.
This articulation and expression is called this. Like, I want to incorporate those things in it too, because, you know, as someone who's been in music for my whole life, I know those things sound good. So it's like to know what those things are when I go, oh, you know, it would be cool on these strings is some tremola, or, you know, I want this to be staccato, you know, like, you gotta know a little bit of that shit. So like some of the classical elements have to come in.
It's never gonna hurt to have more tools available to you, but
and to know what those tools are right away.
Yeah,
that's
the thing. Like,
yeah.
dude, growing up in metal bands and rock bands, it's like there's almost like you got to not do that in the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just it sounds like you're going. But anyway, growing up in, I don't mean to call you out and be like, hey, stop, but growing up in like metal bands and rock bands, there was almost like an attitude of like, if I learn more, I'm gonna like make my art phony. And so like I wrote music with a lot of guys that were like adamantly against learning more about music, like adamantly against learning music theory.
Yeah,
none of them, like not one fucking artist knows how to read music that I worked with. I mean, like I could read music and like, dude, like how can I read this but you can't, and you play piano or guitar or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, and like I can't read it well enough to be able to play it as I read it, but I can
sight
read
reading
it.
is a whole different skill.
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm interested to see where this leads you, because like the first few things I was like, this is cool that you're back into it, but like honestly I was like, nah, it's fine, you know.
Yeah, it's
not something I would seek it out, but I'm seek for myself because it's cool. But it's cool to see you do it because it's you.
Yeah.
But then like I walk up and you're playing this new piece that you're writing, and I'm like, that's actually like that I want to hear.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it I listen to because out of support.
Yeah.
This is like now you're getting to a place where I actually want to hear what you're playing.
Yeah, I've cool. The last album and the last couple tracks I've put out are way more intricate, way more in depth, and way more thought out. Yeah. So, and I'm like, yeah, once I made those, it actually inspired me to redo like the first album I did. Like I've got a volume 1. There's probably going to be 3 volumes if I decide to do the whole thing. I probably won't, because it's a lot of the tracks are just thrown together stuff, right? But I redid the I don't know, first 6 tracks or first 5 tracks, and then I added a track that I had wrote that was more of a kind of like quirky kind of, you know, cinematic sort of score thing, and threw that on there. And honestly, some of the tracks on there are like big hitters. Like people love it. There's a track on the re-release called Open Fields, and originally it sounded like video game-esque, you know, kind of Dances with Wolves. You know, it's like a video game version of like a Dances with Wolves song, you know. And I redid it, and it sounds like some sort of Irish-based like classical piece. And like there's a lot of people from Ireland that like have, like, because I can look at my demographics, and like most of the people, a big chunk of the people that like regularly listen to that specific track on my website are from Ireland. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like,
it's hilarious.
It's funny how that works. It's like, you're like, well, I'm like, oh, this sounds almost like some sort of classical / Irish fiddle stuff, you know, like, and like, sure enough, the demographic is
those are the people that are listening to it. That's pretty funny.
Which is weird, because it's like Ireland and China is a big one for that track. But it's also in like a key that's more of a Asian key, which is weird too. So it's like it's a weird blend, but that's what I want to do, is like kind of break some boundaries in music, but while it's still making it interesting. And, you know, not that I want to go on about that, but I definitely am learning about technique. And like there's a track I started writing about a week ago, and honestly I've been working on it every day. Not the one you listened to, that I wrote that today, but there's another one I'm working on, and I decided to throw a waltz in there in the middle of it, and I like threw it up, and like people were like, this is cool, man, because it's like, really kind of spacey and jazzy at the same time. It gets real jazzy, like da 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 da. You know, like I can hear the drums. Like it's written for a drummer. You know, the beginning part, and then it breaks into this like jazzy part. Or no, I'm sorry. It breaks into this waltz where it's like dun 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 dun. You know that you know what? It's hard to understand what I'm talking about, but when I do that, but and it sounded really cool, and then it breaks in. It ends with this cinematic piece that's just epic. It's like and the chords like it's really basic, but it's so good.
One of Periphery's albums. Every single song ends with like a cinematic orchestral song.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I fucking hate it.
I love that.
I hate it. No, I hate it. Cause when like, so I listen to Periphery for like energy at the gym. So you have this like metal song that's like all energizing, and then it's like doom, doom, doom. Yeah,
but the orchestral
like,
stuff
fucking
on there.
Stop, and then I have to like pull my phone out and fucking skip because it's like a 19-minute song, but it's like a 4-minute metal song. It's not that long, but it'll be like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
but like 4 of it is the metal song.
The orchestral outro.
Yeah, on every single track. It drives me insane.
I like that though.
Did you ever listen to?
I think orchestral music doesn't bother me at the gym. By the way, if you put on the right shit,
if you're not in the mood for it, it's like fucking. I'd rather listen to babies screaming.
I get it.
What? God, what is the name of that group? Did you ever listen to CeeLo Green's first group? I can't think of the name of the group right now.
Gnarls Barkley.
No, it's not Gnarls Barkley. It was before that.
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck, I wish I remember the name. I can't Google it right now. We talked about using the laptop for like fact checking or whatever, and I fucking totally forgot.
That's all right.
Anyway, my buddy Tom that I was talking about earlier that did the lobster, butter. He put me onto this album to listen to, and it was so good. So I guess it was like produced by like a lot of the same guys that Outkast's early shit was all produced by.
Yeah.
And it's got that feel. It's got that like early 2000s like, you know, dude, it was that album at the gym yesterday.
Like weird reverse snares and like
all that shit.
Yeah.
All that shit. The production is like, I don't know. I feel like early 2000s rap and R&B has a certain sound.
Yeah.
And then this is like the alternative to that, where it's like aggressive but not gangster. You know what I mean? Right. And like, it was, dude, that album was so good. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the fucking group right now. I literally listened, whatever. But
you'll find out later. You can just tag it.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about that too, is doing some like modern style music too. But I don't know. It's such a different headspace. I don't know if I want to.
I don't think you should, because it would be inauthentic. It's not what you want to do.
Yeah. Not really. No, I mean, I definitely thought about adding some. Okay, so the first album I put out was a lot like orchestral stuff and jazzy stuff, but it had a lot of. The first and second album had a lot of like percussion and modern style drumming on it, and that was cool. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Having something orchestral with modern style drumming is pretty sweet sounding. You haven't heard a lot of because you always we've talked previously about the percussion, but it's crazy because I was like re-listening to some of the remastered versions and the composed versions of that first album and first 2 albums and stuff, and dude, the percussion's incredible. Yeah, I got to show you some of that shit one day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I'm not totally terrible at it. There's definitely some tricks, but I gotta feel it. I gotta know that that's what needs to happen. Yeah. So. And I'm not good at that, so I don't know. That might be a skill that I can. Hone in eventually. But there's a lot of stuff I've written too that doesn't require percussion at all. Like I think the last 3 tracks. I think there's "This Is Life," "Beyond the Horizon," and "Mountain Traveler." They have 0 percussion, if I remember correctly. It's just piano and strings, and they're good. They're good. Dude, this stuff I'm writing is so cinematic now. So I know, and I'm upgrading very soon. So I'm taking my time with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be months down the road, but I want to upgrade now so that way I can start writing the shit right in there.
Yeah.
Recording piano right in there.
I think it's just going to take, I mean, it's, we've talked about like being musicians and writing music and it going nowhere for a long time and then kind of resenting the art form because of it. And then, I don't know. I think it's just a lack of consistency.
Yeah.
It's just like,
no, it is. Well, it's not. It's also a lack
content.
of putting your stuff. Yeah, it's
you got to
that,
put out content.
Like
no one knows about it. How
it's
could
so,
you resent?
It's so arrogant to be doing music, period, and not constantly putting stuff out, and advertising it yourself. Like someone's going to come to you. It's insane, actually.
Yeah. There's an arrogance to that.
But I will say this:
well, no one sees me yet.
As new as I am to it, I'm not set up for high end stuff, and I've turned down a couple gigs. I've had to, because I'm not set up for it. There was a cartoon gig that was super high paying for maybe 2 days worth of work. Like I'm talking, I mean, not super high paying, but a couple grand, like in 2 days of just dicking around on a piano and making some Foley. But I had to turn it down because I'm like, I wouldn't want to send this to you with what I got. I would want it to be high end. That's just how I am, So that, and, it's hard to really chase after film comp and TV, music comp jobs because I don't have the modern, sound right now. Oh, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment with live recording my own strings. That's something I've been thinking about lately. Buying like a couple different ribbon mics, one for bass and cello and one for, higher end strings, viola and violin, and just buying those instruments secondhand and just recording my own shit. Because I know what I want it to sound like. And if it takes me a year or 2 years to write an album that's completely recorded by me, I would rather do that anyway, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty good. I learn instruments pretty quick. So, and I've dabbled with, those types of string instruments in the past, and I caught on pretty quick. I catch on to music instruments pretty quick. The only thing I can't play, drums is one of them. I'm terrible at drums, but not only that, it's like brass. I'm not good with the air control and stuff like that. I don't know how to do any wind instruments and brass. But string instruments, man, is my forte. So I'm like, why don't I just spend, a couple grand, buy, a bass, a cello, secondhand, violin, viola, and just record the shit myself. Do a couple layers of each,
Yeah.
Or whatever the higher end, the higher register instruments. Yeah, I mean, I already know what I want. I know it sounds good. I know, learning a little bit more about the classical techniques and stuff. So, I mean, if it took me, like I said, because I was going to just either do studio musicians, but then I was like, yeah, but like to get what I want, right, it takes experimentation too. It's not just, it's got to be this. I'm not fucking Mozart, where I can just sit back and go, and then, flat on the third and on the second and third beat. I don't know. Right. I mean, I have to hear it. I have to hear it, play it, and go, yeah, that's cool. I'm not really quite at that, I'm not a savant. So I think like not knowing exactly what I want is going to require me to experiment, play, record some stuff, come up with ideas as I go. So that's kind of, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's my idea. I mean, and it wouldn't be that crazy.
Yeah.
Couple grand in instruments, maybe a couple grand in mics. I'm not doing it right now. I'm saying down, over the course of the next couple of years for sure I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know exactly the sound I want. Like, there's some tracks where I'm like, that's pretty good, and I like it a lot, but it's not entirely what I had in mind, and it's hard to modulate a VST. Like, with instrumentation, actually playing the instrument changes what you're writing, So if I'm playing and go, how about this, and I'm actually doing it real time, that's another thing about. I think that's partly what makes. This is going to be a little controversial, but I'm going to say it. I think that's partly what makes a lot of people uninterested in composition music is the sake that most of it, you can tell when someone wrote it as they were going and like recorded their shit.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Versus like a guy who notated an entire score, and then you hear it and you're like, oh, that's great for a movie. You know, it's great too. It would be great for a movie, but who gives a shit?
Yeah, we've talked about that before where you can completely tell that someone wrote this in a program versus wrote it on the instrument and then programmed it in or recorded it or whatever.
Yeah.
But we got to move on from music. We've been talking about music for like the whole podcast.
Sure. Whatever you want, Daddy.
Ew, God. Never mind. I'm gonna leave.
Jump out the window.
That'd
make for a good episode.
My God.
You'll just land on
that wouldn't play
roof
very
that's
well.
Right here.
Well, first of all, jumping out the window would be an 8-inch fall.
Yeah.
But then also, it wouldn't play very well on the radio.
I'll describe it.
Yeah. I was thinking about proposing a challenge between us.
About what?
About exercise and diet.
What do you mean?
So you and I have gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and lost weight.
Yeah.
For our entire lives.
Right.
And Dad actually brought this up to me the other day. When we were at somebody's wedding, Heather's wedding, we were all skinny.
Yeah.
And we all looked like 5 years younger in that picture than we were.
Yeah.
So I wanted to propose a challenge.
You do this every like couple weeks.
No, I don't. I didn't propose any.
The only 75 that you screwed up.
Okay. I got engaged and missed a day, and it was like I'm not starting over. I wasn't.
You could have just kept it going.
I couldn't though because I hurt my knee and I. Okay, so the 75 hard challenge was every single day, twice a day, relentlessly. You can't miss a day. If you miss a day, you have to start over. I just had surgery on my knee. I hurt myself doing it. I hurt myself doing this again. It doesn't make sense for me to do that. That's too intensive for me right now. Okay. I just had meniscus surgery. Yeah. So that was fucking stupid for me to even be doing that. Yeah. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be only exercise though. I want it to be diet too, which you've been saying you've been doing clean anyway. So it's not like you're having a major change.
I only eat clean right now.
Okay, so here's the challenge. Do you have a pedometer on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
And you, okay. Here's the challenge. We both, do you have a scale?
No.
Okay. Go get one. It's $15 at Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay. So my challenge is for the next month, for all of February, I want to hit 10,000 steps a day.
Okay, that's gonna be tough for me because I don't walk a lot at work.
You have to go for walks outside of work.
I guess, yeah.
But 10,000 steps is like a 3.5 miles total for the day. So that's not much. It's not that much. Yeah. So, I mean, I've had days of work where I hit 40,000, and which is an insane day of work. That's like a 12-hour day of walking nonstop.
Right.
But anyway, so 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
And then each of us 25 pounds down in a month. Yeah. In a month. I think it's doable because we're starting over. Mm-hmm. That's the challenge.
Okay.
25. So the diet is going to be the main thing.
Yeah.
But 25 pounds.
Yeah.
I think we could do it by March.
I know I can because I'm already dieting. I'm already down probably 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Or if not more. Yeah, my clothes are baggy on me.
Good. Well, so you already got momentum. Yeah. You're already going in that direction then.
Yeah.
I think we could do it. I mean,
this shirt would have been a belly shirt on me like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I was getting fat as fuck. I don't know. See, it's weird because I know why. Because I eat so little now, and I feel fine and satiated eating veggies and stuff. That's all I'm eating. I mean, I'm eating bread and shit too, but like so little of it because I eat as much veggies as I can. And when I think back to when you eat fatty meats and you know what I mean, just processed shit, like you're never full. And like I look back and like I could eat like a whole box of mac and cheese and then be hungry. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even buy that shit. When I walk to the store, it grosses me out even seeing it. I'm like, mac and cheese, like it does nothing for you. It's like, cool, there's some carbs and maybe a little bit of protein and mostly carbs and fat and that
and sugar.
So,
it's like processed bullshit. It's all sugar.
So I don't buy a damn thing. Like if you look at my fridge right now, it looks like I'm a vegetarian.
It's easier. I saw somebody say on Instagram, I'll tag this guy when we clip this, but the guy, this guy's like lost a ton of weight, like over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And he made a video where he's like, it's easier to say no once at the store than say no to this thing every single day in your kitchen. So he's like, he doesn't buy anything that is outside of his diet for cheat meals. He won't keep it in the house.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, if it's just, I know that it's there.
Yeah.
It's like the temptation is always in the back of my mind.
Right.
And that is one of the hardest things to put in
perspective.
Parent.
Yeah.
It's like one of the hardest things as a parent is like you want to have convenience foods for your kids just because you don't want to have to cook every single thing they eat.
Right.
But then that shit's in your house and you're going to eat it too.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, chips.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong. Why can't kids just snack on baby carrots and celery?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But also kids are kids and it's like.
Yeah, but that's
you know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, like when you have 3 people, like every single need that they want, that they have.
Yeah.
Every need and want that they have, they come to you and bring it up.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, go eat some fucking chips. Just to get out of my ear.
That's what I was gonna say. Is the worst thing I have in my house right now is tortilla chips because I like chips and salsa, but I don't eat like a whole fucking bag. You know, I'll eat a couple of chips and some salsa every night because it's like that's my snack. That's my frivolousness is some tortilla chips and salsa.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just purely veggies and guac and hummus. That's honestly 90% of my diet is veggies, guac, and hummus right now. I think that's pretty good. I think that's
we need a day where we can
and some meat, you know, occasionally.
When can you go get a scale?
I don't know.
Or order one.
I don't know, whenever.
Because we need to both have like a starting weight so we can like hold each other accountable. And then
1,000-pound brothers on this is our new podcast. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the problem. Well, I am watching 1,000-Pound Sisters, and it is getting crazy. It's getting wild.
We're not segueing into that.
Fuck you, dude. I've talked. No. You talked at me about music for 45 minutes.
Well, it's not my fault. You are a musician, and you never give any. Your pointers are like, yeah, you don't know how to play the drums. Like you're a musician your whole life.
That's not.
You don't. You gotta add to the conversation. The only reason you're not interested is because you're not involved in music, right? Well, you're not interested in music, period, right now, other than listening to music, which is fine.
I'm interested as a consumer of it.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in creating.
Yeah, you're someone that like if you aren't involved in the thing, like you could care, like your eyes glaze over instantly, and that's okay. You're allowed to do. I don't judge that.
Yeah,
I try to be a little bit more open minded.
I'm not. Fuck you, dude. I'm not.
I try
closed
to be a little
off.
bit more open minded.
I'm not closed off. There's just some times where I'm like, dude, I don't have anything to add to this. Like, I don't have anything to add to this. I don't have any thoughts. I don't have any. I don't disagree anywhere. Right. So what am I going to say? Cool. Yeah. All right. Let me know when you do that thing. Yeah. You know. Yeah. It's not anything against music or you or whatever. It's just like I just like don't.
I mean, I'm cool about the challenge. Going back to the challenge thing, I'm cool with it, but also I don't care about it.
Like, that'll make for good radio.
I'm just.
I'm cool. Don't care. It's cool.
I care. So it's like, cool, but
already that means I'm gonna win it, and then there's no interest in the contest.
Maybe I don't know because for me it's not a challenge. It's just I just changed like my
25 pounds in 1 month is a challenge.
I'm just not that. I'm just saying
that's
like
the challenge.
I've already like I've changed a lot of stuff already. So it's like to hear someone go, "Hey, I got a challenge for you." It's like I'm already doing the thing. Like my diet's already dialed in, you know.
Okay.
So
who's gonna?
That's why
who's gonna drop 25 pounds? Well, that's not gonna fucking play very well for the show. Is to be like, I don't care.
Don't care. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just being stupid now. Don't care.
Jesus Christ. Okay, are we doing this challenge? I think we should. I think to have something.
No, yeah, we can. I think it'd be a good one. Yes, we can do it. Quit acting like I'm being seriously dismissing everything.
You are, though.
I'm not. It's fine. Yeah, we can do it. I think.
Okay.
I think my head was in. I don't know if that's gonna. No, maybe not. Should be.
Whatever. Okay. So, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to create some kind of content where we have more than just this. Just the episode. So I'm trying to create something where it's like,
no, I agree.
Okay, we got like Chris's way in, Matt's way in. This is what, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'll cut this out, but I'm like,
No, I know.
I'm trying to create something where we have something where we.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
I can't just keep.
I
ripping.
get it. I'm just being silly. I'm being silly.
Yeah.
I'm being 100% silly. That's all this is.
You're like, I don't care about it.
I don't care. I don't care. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, what I meant when I said that was like, I don't know. I don't want that so offensive. I was just saying, yeah, it's cool, but I don't care.
Well,
Like,
if you don't care, then the challenge is pointless.
I mean,
You have to care about winning. Otherwise, it's a pointless competition.
I'm not a competitive person, man.
Oh, my God. Never mind. Never mind. We're not doing it.
We're doing it. 100% we're doing it.
Fuck you.
We're doing it. We're doing it right now. We're starting right now. Right now.
My head feels like it's on fire. I got up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Dude.
What else?
Don't care. Like, what the fuck? You're like the worst improver of all time. You're like, nope. Nope. Stop. Don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
Jesus Christ.
Don't care.
Well,
Yeah, no,
I
we
can't
can do
just
it.
keep ripping fucking other people's viral videos for intention to our podcast.
Yeah, that's
We
fair.
actually lost like 4 followers after I did that.
Yeah.
Gained 0, lost like 4.
Yeah.
Which,
Well,
whatever, but...
Yeah. Well, it could have been that, or us talking about religion or politics. That could have been part of it, too.
No, it's because it was the days that I started posting other people's clips again is when we lost followers. So I'm not doing that anymore. I
Yeah.
don't want to waste time doing that. Although we've got fucking like 20,000 views in the last 3 days.
I'm just kidding.
doing
I think
it.
I think weight loss challenge is a good one. I think it's a good one.
Let's hold on. Let's have a clean slate so I can cut shit.
You don't need to cut anything. Leave it all
I'm
in.
cutting me arguing with you about like, dude, come on.
There's
like,
no argument.
Yes, and motherfucker. Like that's how you get progress into an idea, not like, nope, don't care about it.
I didn't say no. I said, yeah, it's cool, but I don't care.
Well, if you don't care, then the competition is fucking pointless. If you don't care, then why would I care to beat you?
Okay, I care. I care a lot.
You know what? Now that you said what I want you to say, I kind of don't give a fuck all of a sudden. It's weird. It's weird how that works.
I care. I care a lot.
Ugh.
I care a lot.
You ever watch that movie? I Care a Lot. That movie's intense. You should watch that.
I think I have.
Where
What
she,
is
like,
that?
She basically steals old people or like
Yes.
disabled people's
Yes, that
everything.
movie was crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's a good movie.
The ending of it was
It blew my mind.
I did not see that
Yeah, that was
angle
such
at all.
good writing.
Yeah, and that's how it would go.
Honestly, silly, stupid, generic premise, but then turned into a fantastic spin on it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what I expected.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But I think that was the point. It was like written in a way where it was so generic to begin with, and then it turns into some wild story, and you're like, what? Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. Anyway, okay, so you need to get a scale so we can.
I don't need to do anything. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, you're so fucking annoying.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll get a scale.
Get a
We'll
scale.
start
It costs
weighing in.
fucking $15. You could probably get one on Amazon.
I like how you're like using
overnighted.
money as like the reason that like, dude, they're like $5.
No,
bro.
no, I'm just saying it's
It's not about the money. I just don't have one right now, but I'll get one. I'll get one.
Well, I'm saying you don't need to go drive a half hour because you moved out to the fucking stick, so everything's
Yeah.
45 minutes away.
Which is awesome.
You could Amazon overnight it,
Yeah.
whatever, and then we'll post. This is our starting point. Is it February yet? What's the date?
Yeah, it should be.
It should be.
Should be.
Should be.
No, it's the 30th.
Okay, perfect. All right, so overnight
February 1st.
overnight a scale, and on February 1st we're starting this.
Okay, I'll buy one tomorrow.
So we're gonna post our weights, and the goal is 10,000 steps every day, and 25 pounds lost by March 1st.
Okay.
That's the goal, and then, but we gotta have some kind of consequence. for the loser, what's the consequence? Because remember, I don't know. When we were writing, when we were like writers rooming our fucking YouTube channel, we talked about doing like the competition.
When what?
When we were like writing ideas out for our YouTube, we were gonna do like Smith Brothers rivalry.
Oh yeah.
We had the idea of Smith Brothers rivalry, and we were gonna do like, we were gonna go up to Mackinac and like whoever can have the fastest lap biking around Mackinac Island wins, and then the loser has to like go like clean a bar's bathroom in a French maid outfit. Or
I remember us talking about this.
And then
I don't know. We'll think about that one.
We were gonna do like a kayaking one where like if you lost your paddle for the next round, and you had to like paddle with your hands down the river.
That'd be funny.
We got to have some kind of consequence.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to think of some ideas. I don't know. Right, my head's not. I got so much other shit going on. I give a shit less about. I don't know. I gotta.
My God! Every time we get momentum, you're like, I don't care.
No, I don't mean. It's not that I don't care
about it.
I gotta get. It takes me time to get into headspace of something like that. It's like I can't just flip a switch like, yeah, we're doing that right now. I mean, we can, but like, I'm not gonna be. I gotta get into the headspace of it. You like this was a surprise.
I feel dizzy.
You should. You should. I don't know what kind of consequence we would have. I don't know. That's something we'd have to think about. But yeah, I don't know. Fitness challenge, I guess. Yeah, it sounds great.
I'm not putting this episode out. It's you talked at me about music for 40 minutes, and now that I brought up something that's not your music.
You talked at me.
You talked at me.
So anytime we have a conversation that you don't add anything to, that's me talking at you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see how this is playing out.
Oh my God. When you start talking to me about music, I'm going to be like, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't care, but yeah.
You should.
Okay.
I don't care.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, buy a fucking cello. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to think about it. Like, what would it, I mean, yeah, I guess. But also, I don't care about a cello.
Right. No one does. That's the problem with today's music.
That's the problem with our downloads, is that you talked about a cello for.
What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about? We talk about whatever you want.
Well, okay, so yeah.
So you don't like any stuff I talk about?
No, that's not true. It's not true. What I think might be boring to people listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Is like, what are the logistics of my next step in music? Which, like, if you're not actively doing it, that doesn't.
Sure,
might not
but
mean
that could go with anyone. No one's gonna like people that have been in relatively decent shape their entire lives are not gonna care. The two fat guys on a podcast. They might do a weight loss challenge.
There's consequence. There's consequences to that.
Well, that's what I mean.
And there's like data to
just
that.
being like, hey, you have a scale. We're gonna do this thing. All right, yeah, that's great. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I guess.
I do think having like actual data and having like a thing that we're working towards gives a payoff for the competition,
right?
Versus like, talking about the logistics of how to make something happen might be boring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
All right, let's start fresh. All right, go. I'm just kidding. Okay, we're doing weight loss challenge.
We're going to do weight loss challenge so we no longer have the bodies of cellos.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about music ever.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's just what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about. I mean, I work, we do this, and I play music. That's literally my entire life.
Yeah.
What am I going to talk about? What do you want me to talk about?
No, I don't want. I'm never going to limit you on what you're allowed to talk about.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't talk about. I'm just wondering, as like if I was a consumer of this podcast, would I be like, God, dude, like I don't.
Then don't listen to
you
it.
know what I mean? Well, right. I'm just.
Sucks to be you. Sucks to suck, don't it?
My God.
Don't it? I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I got going on, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
not that
we didn't really come. I didn't come into this. I don't know, man. Plus my headspace was in music before you came over. I was writing some shit. That's all.
Yeah.
And actually, you brought it up. You were talking about the music that I was writing when you came in.
Yeah, I was saying I liked that. And then you're like,
And then
if you like that, wait for this next 45 minutes. And I was like, I think I might have fallen asleep for a while.
Yeah. No, I suck, dude.
That's not what I said.
I suck.
I didn't say you suck.
I
You
mean,
don't
it's
suck.
fine. It's enjoyable.
No.
Even if I'm someone that finds content in my own content, and then if people don't like it, I'm probably gonna like it even more because I'm a troll. So it's like, when I say I don't care, that's what I mean. Is it like, yeah, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? We'll figure out the conversation. We'll figure out the contest.
There was a comedian that like purposefully would like empty out rooms by like being bad on purpose. I wish I remember who it was, but he reminds me of you. He reminds me of you because he would be like, it's way funnier to me to like tell bad jokes for so long that I empty out a whole club.
I've done that. I've done that. One time I was at like a get together with some friends, and I was like, I think I'm gonna start getting into some comedy. Like I started writing some jokes. They're like, oh, it's cool, tell us a joke. And I told them the dumbest thing I could think of on the spot, and they all looked at each other. And I could not stop laughing because it was like I knew it was going to be so stupid.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman is like
right.
So like where it's like everything I want it to be cringeworthy. The reaction out of you doesn't need to be you laughing. The reaction out of you needs to be a little bit of annoyance, a little bit of what the fuck is this guy's problem? And
wow, you just described how I've felt every time you've talked to me.
But that's what I do.
For
I do
30 years.
I do that with, but that's not just you. It's everybody. It's just me. That's what I do. I like to just
kidding.
That's my sense of humor. My sense of humor
is annoying the fuck out of people.
Yeah, but like innocently, like it's not damaging.
Yeah.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Oop, we're off beat. Do 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 do.
I don't know what the beat is. I'm just winging it.
Do 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 do. Jesus Christ! You know, I was like having flashbacks to like something like when we were kids, there would be like something that would like make an annoying like a funny sound, and you'd be like, "I'm gonna do that 700 times."
100%.
And I'd like
remember when I would like we would play a movie and I would just like hit the fast rewind.
Yeah.
When I'd hear something that was really like a dumb noise, and I would just do it over and over. I would just hit the button,
yeah,
dun, 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 and it'd like whatever noise it was,
right.
over and over again.
Over and over, yeah, until people were like physically exhausted from you doing that.
Yeah.
The only time I did that to you one time. Do you remember me doing this to you one time, where I kept playing the same thing over and over and over, and you were like, "Dude, fucking stop!"
I don't remember.
It was the opening of More Human Than Human, where the chick's moaning.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We had the original Xbox. You could rip music onto it, so you could play that music while you played the video game.
Right.
We were playing video games together, and More Human Than Human came on, and the not radio version of that song, there's a chick getting plowed.
Yeah.
Like the audio of her moaning is like the first 15 seconds of the song, and I kept going, and then moaning, moaning, like fucking come on, dude, just let it play. What'd you say? Oh, wait, you said you wanted to hear that one more time, and I did it like 40 times.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you didn't love it, but that's the shit that you do to everybody.
A little bit.
Oh my god.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember like other fucking annoying bits that you would do that, like, the main one that you would do is that I would want to watch TV, and you'd come out and you'd like open up the bottom cabinet and turn on the radio, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?" And you'd be like, "Give me the controller," and you'd hit mute. And they were like, let's try to make it look like people are singing. So just fucking, and then we'd have like fucking the R&B station on in Detroit, and then you're like fucking clicking through like every show that's on TV. Oh, dude, look.
I've got actually, I remember a lot of hilarious troll moments. One time, so like I was friends with like a bunch of like alternative kids when I was in high school and middle school and stuff, but I don't know what span of time I did this in, but I remember Mom had this little karaoke machine, and I was I had learned all the words to a Slipknot song. So I called my one of my female friends, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, check this out." I did the
Just sing. Just sing.
Enemy, show me what you want to be. I can handle it for 5 minutes. And then I was just expecting them to hang up. And I get on the phone, they're still there. She goes, "You must be really proud of that." And I go, I was like, "Did you like it?" Oh. Dude.
It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude.
Just make someone sit on the phone for 5 minutes.
100%.
Were you singing along with the karaoke machine?
Yes.
That's fucking so dumb.
Oh. Yeah, I have a lot of moments like that.
I remember God, we'd go in a pool somewhere, and you'd be like, that was one of the bits you would do, is you'd put your mouth in the water and be like, blah, 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 and you'd be like, what song was that? Like, fucking, it didn't sound like anything. And you would be like, what do you mean? Dude, no, you gotta listen. You weren't listening. You gotta listen. All right, ready? I'm like, what the fuck was that? You're like, it was Wait and Bleed. All right, hold on. I'm going to do another song. Ready? All right, to fucking listen this time, though. And then you do it again. And it would literally be like, so stupid.
Oh, my God.
Talking about a troll, you should tell the fucking high school cutting story.
Oh, that's going to offend a lot of people.
Good.
All right. So, did I tell you that I told my direct supervisor this story because we had a conversation about.
Finish with that. You gotta tell the story.
Did I tell you that though already? I just want to know what. Okay.
No.
Oh, this is getting
no, but you gotta.
Better.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, there was a lot of goth chicks.
Well, you went to an art school.
I went to an alternative school.
It wasn't alternative because alternative is like alternative school is like
adult
all
ed.
the pregnant chicks.
Oh yeah, no.
And like ghetto kids that get in fights.
No.
This is
an
art high school.
So like I was with the most which is fine, but I was with very artistic, sensitive people. So there was a lot of like really dark, depressed people. There's a lot of like what they called back in the day, cutters and stuff, and like there was a lot of like. I don't know. It's not funny because I get it. Like it's a lot of psychological.
Stop putting it on sale.
Yeah, but I have to because it's super insensitive what I'm about to tell you guys.
God, who gives a fuck?
So at that time, me and my girlfriend in high school were on and off, and then I broke up, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, this is nuts. It's too chaotic, whatever. And then everybody at school found out that I broke up with her. And they're like, oh, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? Blah, blah. Because like we had been together. I think this might have been my senior year too, which is even fucking hilarious. And we were together like almost the entirety of high school, the end of my first year to like mid senior, actually the end of senior year because we ended up getting back together. So like everybody was like super concerned about it because we had been like we were like the high school. I don't want to say sweethearts because that's hilarious.
You were the couple.
We were like the alternative like whatever couple.
Yeah.
And so I came into school the next day, and I thought it would be really funny to. I hope this is what you're talking about. If not, this is going to be really revealing of my the messed up shit in my head. So I thought it'd be really funny to go to school and have cuts all over my arms. Is this what you're talking about? Okay, so, oh man, so I got a razor blade and I made these superficial cuts all over my arms. because I thought it would be hilarious to walk in and be like, I'm so sad. So I go into school. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and acting all mopey. And then like this girl was like, "Oh, are you okay? Like I heard you guys split up." And I was like, "Do I look okay?" In the middle of class, my teacher sends me down to the counselor. The counselor calls mom. And mom's goes, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay?" I was like, I'm fine. I was like, I didn't even know what to say to her because I'm like, this was a bit. And literally my mom already thinks I'm demonic. And now she thinks I'm super depressed and want to kill myself. So then I was just like, I'm fine. I'll talk about it later. So by the way, no one knew it was a bit. Everyone thought I was really
That's the weirdest thing to me.
No one knew.
Yeah.
No one knew that I was being just being stupid.
Yeah.
And it never transpired into anything, and no one ever really talked about it again after that.
It's fucking hilarious.
And I think so. There's some girls that were like dating my friends and stuff that kind of like they knew my sense of humor. My friends were like, you never had like guy friends that like they know you and they know your sense of humor, but they don't get you. Like they're just like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So like they just kind of disassociated for a while. So like, oh, something's wrong with this guy. And like their girlfriends would be like, "Dude, you're fucking hilarious. Like that's funny as shit." Even though it's not. Like everyone's just kind of like, oh, like under the radar, like going, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious."
Yeah.
Because it was meant to be like it was meant to be kind of cringy and like which is everything I do. I mean I don't care, right?
I can't commit to a bit and not like start laughing. It's so weird to me that you're really like, "Do I look okay?"
Yeah,
and then,
I was like, "Do I look okay?"
I would have started laughing so hard, but like if I did that.
By the way, I was in a what do they call it? Study class. So I had a drama study class. I used to have a math one, but then I switched over to the drama one because I was doing more stage tech shit at that time, art school. So I was doing stage tech stuff. So I had a stage tech / drama study group, and there was like a new teacher there, like cool guy and stuff. But like literally, it was a small, tiny room on the stage itself, in the back of the stage, like a storage room that the study group was in. And we're sitting there and whatever. And then the girl walks in and is like, "Hey, I heard that you guys broke up." And the teacher's sitting at his desk, like right next to me. And I go, "Do I look okay?" And the teacher's like, "Oh man, like what's going on, man?" And he's like, "Oh, I gotta call down the office and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that was awkward." It was I was more scared to talk to mom. I was like, how am I even gonna
explain that? She is not.
I'm like,
that's not her jam. That's not her.
I don't even know where to begin. So she just thinks I'm some. So now she just thinks I'm one of them. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really weird. But yeah, I told a supervisor about this because we were talking about that, like specifically. He's younger. He's younger than you even. But like we were talking about like the like super depressed like goth chicks in high school and stuff. Like it was just a conversation. So then I told him about this story, and he was just like, and I was like, "Dude, you gotta understand. That's just who I am." Like it sounds super insensitive. It sounds crappy. It sounds like I might have some psychological problems, but I was like, it was literally a joke.
It's fucking hilarious.
And I was like, even to this day, like people that know me from high school was like, "Yeah, that's crazy, Chris. Like Chris is nuts." I'm not. I'm just hilarious. You just don't know it. I like comedy that goes above people's heads because like I want them to think about it later and then laugh and then be like, "Remember when you did this thing?" Like I don't need that instant gratification for myself. It's gratification to me. Like if someone 10 years later is like, "Dude, remember this?" Like that was that's fucking hilarious.
Your sense of humor kind of reminds me of Grandpa. Grandpa was fucking hilarious, but like a lot of people didn't get it. They just thought he was an ass.
Yeah, because he was so stern. Yeah.
I told this story at his funeral. I remember they came over. Grandma and Grandpa came over to Mom's house for something, birthday party or something.
Yeah.
And Grandpa's this, 6 foot tall, 300-pound man, and Grandma's like 4 foot fucking 10.
Right.
And weighs 100 pounds.
Right.
And she walks in carrying like 10 canvas bags with like Bibles and like presents and like whatever her coffee thermos or whatever other bullshit she carries around. And so she's like, honey, can you help me? And he goes, oh, yeah, no, thank you. And then just like, kept talking.
Yeah, yeah.
And I laughed so hard at him doing that.
Yeah.
Because he said it like she was offering him something he might want.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
hysterical.
Grandpa was funny, man.
Yeah.
He's a funny
Uncle
guy.
Dave's got his sense of humor for sure. He says some funny shit. But I wouldn't be able to hold the bit in, dude. I would not be able to. I've gotten myself in trouble like letting a bit be exposed as a bit. You know, at school, you know, growing up. Dude, I was in this study. It was like a seminar class.
Yeah.
And when, like the first couple of weeks of school, I think this was like 10th grade.
Yeah.
The teacher had us all paint. They're like, I want you to pick from these famous quotes and paint it on this poster board, and we'll have a bunch of inspirational quotes that you guys painted on in our classroom. So like, you know, everyone picks out a quote that is pre-selected by the teacher.
Yeah.
And we spend like the entire like first week painting.
Yeah.
Our quotes. You know, you write out the quote in bold letters, paint the poster board, whatever, and then at the end of the week, we were going to each go up and read the quote, explain why we picked it, and then hang it up.
Yeah.
So I spend all week painting the poster board.
Yeah.
I didn't pick one of the pre-selected quotes. So, but I didn't let anybody know. I just kept my head down and painted. Well, so they call on me and our like three friends, or like my three friends that were like sitting near me, and they're like, all right, you four come on up and present. So like one person's like, you know, fucking one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, and like all these like whatever. If you come to a fork in the road, take it, or whatever. Like all these fucking, and then it gets to me, and I go, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I turn it around. Go to the fucking office. Go to the office now. Dude, I fucking...
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got suspended for that one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Insubordination.
Worth it.
Worth it.
So
I laughed
funny.
so fucking hard.
Are you kidding me? That's so funny.
It was like this nice, bold, printed, like cursive painting.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious. I still laugh about that thinking about it.
Yeah.
But God, I got in trouble at that school all the time. I was only there for like a year and a half.
I'm trying to think of some other stuff that happened.
I was only there for like a year and a half, dude. So one time there was these doors by the band room that led out to the football field.
Yeah.
And I smoked cigarettes in high school. And me and my friend were going to go sneak outside to go to the football field to smoke a cigarette and then come back in. So we go out this band door that leads out to the football field, and we put a pencil in the door so we can get back in.
Yeah.
So I go out there, and this fucking miserable asshole that was the hall monitor catches us.
Yeah.
But he doesn't catch us smoking, just catches us outside. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we're just coming outside, get some air. And they're like, no, get back inside. And she's like, really? I can smell you guys. And so apparently she could smell that we were smoking cigarettes. But so she takes me to the office, and she's like, empty your pockets. And I was like, no. And she's like, empty your pockets. I go, no. And so the liaison officer goes, you need to empty your pockets. I go, no, I don't. And he sticks his hands into my pocket, and grabs a pack of cigarettes out of my pocket. I go, what the fuck are you doing? You can't put your hands in my pants. The fuck?
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, you got smoking paraphernalia, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get, whatever.
Yeah.
So now I'm freaking out. I'm flipping out on him. I'm going like, you fucking touch me, blah, 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 And now I have him dead to rights. You don't get to put your hands on a minor. You don't get to put your hands in the pants of a minor.
Yeah.
Fucking psycho.
Good old fondling.
Yeah. Fucking. So anyway, they call Dad.
Yeah.
Dad comes up there, and he's like, what happened? He's like, your kid got caught smoking cigarettes. He's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, wait till after school. Like, he knew I smoked. He fucking paid for half my packs. But then I was like, this fucking asshole put his hands in my pants. He said, you empty your pockets. I told him I wasn't going to empty my pockets, and he fucking stuck his hand in my pants. He goes, you put your hands in my kid's pants? I go, and the officer's like, he was refusing to empty his pockets. He goes, who the fuck said he had to empty his pockets? You're gonna demand something out of a minor.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't get to do that. He wasn't under arrest.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, so you put your hands in my kid's pants.
Right.
He goes, yeah. And he's like, okay, so we're fucking done here.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we're not. And he's like, no, we're fucking done here.
Yeah.
And so they suspended me for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And me and Dad went hunting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he didn't punish me for it. Like, I think maybe the first 3 or 4 days we were just like, whatever. I just hung out at the house. I wasn't in trouble.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was like, you're a fucking idiot for doing that at school. But
dude, we did every day, all day.
Yeah.
They didn't. I don't know why.
When I was at the alternative school, we'd go outside for smoke breaks.
They didn't even care. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They cared, but like we just did it anyway.
Yeah.
We did whatever we wanted. Oh, I don't know if I should. Well, it doesn't matter.
In the stairway, people were just like doing fucking drugs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did that too.
yeah.
Yeah. We smoked weed like right in school and shit.
Yeah.
Not in the classroom, but we were high all the time.
Yeah.
But like one thing is embarrassing because apparently I caught a reputation because Christina told me. But at high school, I got caught like 7 or 8 times having sex in different places in that school.
In school?
In school. In school.
Slut.
Yeah. I was kind of a freak back then, dude.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. I'm kind of.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I got caught many times. They didn't even know what to do. They're like, they're like, just don't do this again. Because they were so blown away that I got caught in the girls' locker room. I got caught in the gym. Like we were in the gym. We took one of those, those foam pads, those long foam pads that they used to have at gyms. We made a circle of them and we just banged in the middle of them.
That's fucking hilarious.
And we got caught. They're like, what the hell is this? Like we could hear a teacher come. I'm like, oh shit, pull up your, get dressed, whatever. Yeah, I was a freak.
Jesus Christ! I caught you having sex one time. Do you remember this? You remember this?
No.
Your bedroom was where Mom's bedroom is now.
Okay.
And I was trying to hang out with you, and you were like, you brought this chick over. I don't remember her name. I probably shouldn't say her name if I do remember.
Yeah,
I think it was a nickname though. It was like Cherry or something.
I don't remember.
Candy. Some trashy fucking.
Hell yeah, dude.
Some trashy fucking name.
It definitely had to have been, for sure.
But anyway, so I think this was the same day, dude. Mom wouldn't stop fucking with you and your friend either, because it was a new chick. It wasn't the girl that you dated forever. It was like you had brought like some.
I know who it was. I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
What was the name?
I'm not gonna say the name. She didn't have a nickname though.
Oh. Yeah,
but I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure because I'm trying to think of, because I usually didn't bring people to Mom's house to do any of that.
Yeah.
Until like I dated my ex-wife, but
yeah. So
anyway,
we were trying to like hang out with you, and you were like, "Fucking leave us alone, leave me the fuck alone," or whatever. Yeah. You're like, "Leave us the fuck alone," and like Mom like knocked on the door and was like, she had like a pair of her underwear on top of her jeans. And she's like, I'm Captain Underpants. And she's like, fucking with you? Do you remember this? And we were like, what are you? Like, I was laughing so hard because she would not stop fucking with you.
Dude, Mom is so silly. What the hell?
She's like, I'm Captain Underpants. And she like, and you were like, fucking go away.
Yeah.
And then like an hour went by and like whatever, the energy of like laughing or whatever, fucking with you went away.
Yeah.
And then I just was like, I want to go fuck with him again. So I just like went to your room and just opened up the door, and you were completely naked standing on the end of the bed, and you go, ah! And just like fucking like covered up. I was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't fuck with him anymore.
I wonder. I don't know. I might be wrong and who I thought it was.
Does it start with a C? Because that's what I'm thinking.
No.
No.
I don't know. I wasn't. See, the thing is back then I didn't really sleep a lot. I was with one person like most of high school. So was this after high school?
No.
Really?
It was. I don't know if you moved to Dad's and then moved back.
I don't know.
Before you dated Sarah, but
yes, that's true. I did.
Okay, so it would have been that.
Yeah, because the end of high school, I was lived in Dad's, and then moved back because I was going to. Because Dad moved out of to a different city, and I wanted to go to Macomb. I started going to Macomb. I have a story that. Right. Speaking of trolling, I don't know the details of that story, so I'm just gonna skip over a little.
Well, that was the end of it anyway.
Okay, but speaking of trolling, when I was going to Macomb, I've always been the same kind of guy. Like I'm just bizarrely me sometimes, and I don't care. And I took psychology, and we're going through this like my thing that I used to do in that class. Oh, sorry, that drink. Give me gas. Whenever we're in psychology class and we were learning about a new like issue or whatever mental issue, I would like just start talking to the teacher about how I think I might have this. And so like, and mind you, dude, I was so cool at that time. Honestly, like I had leopard print. I had bleached hair, but it was like also like leopard print spikes. It was, and I wore like this fucking like punk shit all the time, dude. And I was like, hey, like I got a really serious question, and everybody would just be like, oh God. And it brought me so much joy every time. I'd be like, I think I have this. So like when I do that, like when I think this way, like whatever, and I would just go on and this was like, look, this is not what this class is for. And I'm like,
we're not diagnosing you here.
So I'm like, all right. And I did it every time we learned about a new thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I ended up leaving college because I just wanted to party and have fun and play in bands. But
there was such an energy to having all of these alternative friends that were like weirdos, like complete different walks of life.
Yes, and
I kind of miss
fun.
that. I kind of miss that chaos and energy of it.
Yeah, it was fun, dude.
I remember your friend Yahtzee. We went out to. She
wasn't my friend. I think we hung out just that one time. She was a friend of a group of friends, and we just hung out. But she was dating like one of these guys,
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is,
I don't even know how me and her had hung out because we weren't cool like that. I don't even know how that.
We went out to eat. We went out to eat probably to like Ramshorn or Denny's or something.
Yeah,
and. When we were leaving, she shoved like the napkin dispenser in her purse.
Oh yeah, she took. Yeah, I remember that.
And I was just like,
I had a star on it.
Yeah,
yeah, it was like a tin napkin dispenser.
It had
with
a star on it, and she like
stamped in it.
She had like a belt that had stars on it or something.
Yeah.
So like apparently that was her fucking thing.
Right.
But I just remember being like, I mean, I was like Elias's age. I was like 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like so mind blown. Like she was like wearing bowling shoes that she stole.
Yeah.
And like she wore like a pair of shitty shoes to the bowling alley and then put those shoes on and like just left with them on because she thought it would be funny.
Yeah.
And then she stole the napkin dispenser because it had a star on it. And I was just like, I don't know, like not that I want to hang out with fucking kleptos or whatever, but like,
well, when you're young, it seems a lot more. It's fun. When you're young, it's like it's
being like
thrilling.
reckless. It's like that reckless energy.
It's like reckless youth is my favorite.
Dude, going up to like the Roseville Theater.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is that? Like it was like a club for kids, but we were all clearly like smoking cigarettes and getting fucked up there. I miss
the band I was in. Dude. By the way, I just reconnected with James. Man, I should start jamming with him sometime. I need to get a guitar and jam with him or a bass or something. Dude, Woodshed Experiment was my favorite time in high school, period. We would play shows at Roseville Music Theater.
Yeah.
And we had a following, dude. Like the girls would just come. Like we didn't we were all dating people, so we didn't give a like believe it or not, we were all like I was kind of a freak, but like I just dated one person. So I wasn't like interested, but we had groupies that like would follow us show to show, and dude, it was so hilarious. It's like we're like 18, 17 years old,
like very minor,
and all we did was chain smoke and get wasted and smoke weed. Right. And like I would wear like fucking girl sunglasses and girl jeans, dude, and go play a show.
Yeah.
Well, I play bass, dude. Just not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Super tight skin. I'm a fat guy in super tight girl jeans.
I mean, there was like
and big old fucking girl sunglasses, dude. Like in a jam band, I didn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, dude. That was it's so free to not care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
Like I know I look like a fat clown right now. Don't care.
And
I'll tell you what is the coolest I ever felt in my life, because like you can say nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever, Yeah.
There was such an energy to that like life of all these like weird goth chicks that we hung out with and emo chicks and but it wasn't like exclusive. It was also like we also hung out with like fucking cool ass like ghetto kids who were like all in these hardcore rap groups and shit, and like
Yeah, I had a bit of that too.
you know, and like I don't know, man. There was
a lot of
there
the
was
friends
such a
I had,
culture in Roseville. It's like funny to think about.
Well, dude, like I was in middle school, and one of the better guitarists probably in the state of Michigan, like was in ended up being in like one of the best local bands of all time. I was the one who convinced him to buy a guitar in middle school, and we started jamming like when we were like little preteens, you know?
Yeah.
And like, dude, and then to find out years later, I went to a show because I was like, oh, this band's playing cool. He's the guitarist of the band, and I could never play guitar like that. I'm good. I'm excellent at guitar, not like this guy. Yeah. This guy's a savant. And he was just, and I'm just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
And you know what? I kid you not. He saw me, and like right at the end of a set, he threw his guitar down, came up and hugged me, and he's like, this is the guy that got me to play guitar. And I was like, shit. Dude, it was the most fucking awesome experience of my life. God, I got to reconnect with him too. I haven't talked to him in ages.
Yeah.
Fucking ages.
There's so many people that we come across.
There's someone I went to a high school with that's a music producer, I don't know if he's still doing it, but for a long time after high school, had a studio in Detroit and was like a big time music producer down there. Yeah. He had videos on his MySpace and then switched over to Facebook. His Facebook was just riddled with, I know he was doing well because he was like on these vacations, like he was making money. Yeah. It's fucking wild, dude. Like I definitely should, but they were so like, it's crazy because in high school, I was like, I matured very quickly because I didn't fuck up a lot, but my head was so chaotic. And then like, I had to mature quickly because I was like, man, I want a normal life. You know, I don't want to be high and drunk and just partying all the time. And like for some of my other friends and acquaintances, like it didn't end, you know? So I disconnected from them entirely, like didn't talk to them, never spoke to them after high school, and didn't give a shit. You know, I was like, I want to just hone it in and have a normal life to some extent. I mean, I still like was in bands, still drank, still, you know, occasionally smoked weed and shit, but I didn't want to party. I didn't want to be an animal anymore. And dude, a lot of those people did a lot of cool shit. My one buddy's in like a live. He plays guitar in what's called a stutter step band, which is like dubstep, and it has like live instruments too. And he posted a video the other day, well, maybe a couple months ago, and it was so good, dude. I was like, I would go to that show every time you guys played. You know, It was so amazing.
I wish I would have had a little more. I mean, hindsight and all that, you know, right. Whatever, regrets as you get older. But like, I wish I would have had a little more guidance of like, you can use this creative mind that you've developed and use it for a way to make a living. You know, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I should have.
Not that I hate what I do.
I should have honed it in and kept going with what I was doing. But there's people who took music super seriously when I was going to that school too. Like there was the serious guys too. Yeah. There was this guy who was a serious pianist. Serious. I'm talking.
Yeah, but like I don't want that life either. I want to be able to be creative.
I don't think it went anywhere. I think
I don't want that either. I want to be able to be creative, and there's rules and regulations to the industry that I'm in. Yeah. So like, every now and then
my art teacher reaches out to me because I was also super brilliant. Like I didn't care about school because I was like already like super brilliant in my own way. Like I if I liked something, I would research everything about it, and it was really cool because I remember like out of high school, I would post on MySpace, and I think I had my art teacher on MySpace because he's someone who liked to like reconnect with people he like taught in art. Like, hey, are you doing anything in art? You know, whatever. Like not really. This is what I'm interested in. At the time when last episode we talked about, you know, I was super into religion and stuff, and he had done an entire tarot card set, like a super high end. And his art, dude, he's a great.
He did the artwork for it.
Yeah,
that's what you mean.
Yeah, like
you
some
designed
high-end,
it for them to print it.
Yeah, okay. He designed like the artwork for this entire company, and so like you know whatever the logos, everything, right, and the cards and all this cool occult shit, and super cool stuff, dude. It looked amazing, and he reached out. He's like, "Oh, this is the work I'm doing now," and I was like, "Oh, it was so cool," and I was like, "Oh, you know," and then we talked for a while because I was like super. You know, studying like it was specifically like some tarot cards for the Book of Thoth, whatever, some shit or some occult shit. But it was super. That was based on Egyptology, And at the time I was studying Egyptology, so we started talking about it. But like things like that I miss. Like you don't get any of that. When I talk about things I'm interested in or know about, like no one I run across has any clue what I'm talking about. Like most of the time. And it's like, it's okay. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of like I forgot more shit than most people know. And that bothers me because it's like I separated myself from the people that was keeping that interest, that spark lit.
And there's a lot that kind of goes away if you're not actively interested in it. Like when we had intro and we were recording, I mean, the amount of information that both of us had about recording and about engineering, let alone the amount of stuff that we had, like that we knew about music. Yeah. Like that, I don't know, that muscle just like starts to atrophy. And then all of a sudden it's like, dude, I remember the word SM58, but what does that mean? Is that like a mic or, you know what I mean? And just like shit like that happens. You're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I can't believe how much I knew about it. And then now it's gone. Right. You know, and that alternative stuff, I mean,
it comes back quick though.
It does. Yeah, it does. But there was such an energy to like committing to like being in this alternative world where I'm like, these are the things I'm interested in, like skateboarding and fucking CKY and you know, Jackass and then like all of the music and all the people that are in bands that I know and everyone's hustling to get the new piece of gear to like make the next step in their art, you know, and it was fun, man. There was such an energy to it. I get like that energy kind of thing is like what like. I'll relate that to when I hear people say, I like the energy of New York. Yeah. New York looks like a shit stain in my mind. I would never live there. Yeah. But I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get energy from the city.
Yeah, this has what the kids call a vibe.
Yeah. Well, right. It has this energy and it's got this thing that's this muse that's kind of fucking vibrating in that area of like everyone's trying to get this thing to happen.
A lot of creative energy.
Yeah, and there's not like for like 10 years of my life, it was just like creative energy just like became like anxious energy, and then all of my life was just like work and bills and kids. Yeah. And I gotta cut my lawn this weekend. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I sure know.
You go from I went from a kid who was an artist to a dad, and there was like no time in between. Yeah. You know, so like a lot of what I loved had to like die.
But by the way, a lot of that, even without having a family, that happened to me too, you know? Yeah. Like, I mean,
but you did it to yourself because you were in a serious relationship and you were like, I need to become a man, stop being a fucking kid. Right. And then you like got serious and you worked overtime for 10 years.
So, well, more than that, 20 years now.
Well, I'm saying in that relationship.
Yeah. I put all the other stuff on the back burner for the most part. I still dabbled in it. You know, still had a few different ideas and bands and jam sessions and whatever. But the thing is also it was hard to. I was very angry at that time because it was very hard to balance it all, and it just made me a really miserable person.
Trying to find a balance is the hardest fucking thing, man.
So then I think a lot of people didn't want to work with me because everybody, honestly, no one had a serious job. No one had a serious life. No one was married that I was, you know, really jamming with for the most part at that time. No one had like serious stuff going on. Well, I don't want to say no one, half of it, right? So then like the people that didn't, and they just wanted to party and be a rock star, right? It's like, I think they got tired of me being too much of a stickler.
Well, and then
I had this ongoing joke of like being kind of like the Hitler of every band I was in. And it's not because I was like, this is the only way. It's because I would be like, dude, like, I don't have time to dick around.
We talked about that I remember talking about that 10 years ago. And, and you'd be like, fucking so-and-so's fucking late again. And I would be like, dude, this isn't his one day off. He doesn't understand.
Right. He doesn't understand that life. Yeah.
He doesn't understand because he's like not even working. He's living at home still. Right. And you have like one Saturday off, which is a surprise. Right. And then you're like, come on, like he's supposed to be here at fucking 10. Here it is, 1 o'clock. I don't even know if he's coming. He's not answering his phone. Yep. And I'd be like, dude, he doesn't care like you care.
Yeah, I don't miss that anymore.
It's just a day.
Yeah, I'd rather just do it all myself now. Yeah. If I want to have a creative venture. I mean, this is cool. This is cool, but we're, you know, you and I, we can come to common ground on things a lot easier. Because I think we understand business. We understand that like, hey, you specifically have way less time than I do, but I have less time just because the hours I work. I work like stupid hours and I work long shifts. So it's really
Dun, dun, dun,
dun 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 dun.
You got the bass line wrong.
Isn't it how it goes?
It's like doom 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 boom 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 doom doom.
I don't know. I'd have to. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
I know. It's been throwing me off every time I try to sing along. It's okay.
I apologize.
It's not like you watch SVU. I've only had to listen to SVU.
I literally hate that show. Actually,
yeah, it's fucked up.
It creeps me out.
Yeah,
Every show is about a child who got molested. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Or someone got murdered because someone got molested. I don't understand. I don't understand why people enjoy that.
Dude, that is so true. It's either every episode's a kid gets molested or someone got murdered because they molested someone's child.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I don't understand it.
God dang, that made me laugh.
Yeah. I don't understand. I've never been someone who gets entertained by like brutal shit.
Yeah.
Like there's like a stereotype going around right now that like every woman listens to some kind of murder podcast.
Right.
And I'm like, why do you want to hear that?
It's a fantasy. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think women fantasize. This is going to be really controversial. I think women fantasize about the worst case scenario when it comes to men. I think they like it. They actually want to bring a little bit of that. I think women fantasize about the rapey serial killer man. I think they like it. They like it until they do.
Definitely cutting this out.
No. I'm not saying they want that. I'm saying there's some kind of like, there's no holds bar. It's purely sexual. It's purely about control. And women want to be controlled in a weird way. A lot of women do. And deep down, they it's a fetish.
I'm just thinking about what I'm like.
That's
I'm
why
just
they
thinking
like
about the amount of work and editing.
No. Leave this in. There's nothing because I mean, why do you think that? I mean, this is gonna get real X-rated. But why do you think like women like that fake choking shit? They like the control, dude. They like that. There's this fantasy that women have where it's like he's not gonna hurt me, but he could if he wanted to. That turns women on so much. The fact that like if a woman knows that like in a split second you could hurt her, they get so BYOT. Bring your own tarp.
Oh my god! You know, Paige's aunt listens to like every single episode.
Leave that in. It's a
she's
comedy
a very
podcast.
loving and supportive woman.
Yeah. Well, she'll. You know what? She'll be the. What's her name?
No.
Aunt. Paige's aunt. Now, just tell me if I'm incorrect. I will change my attitude about.
I thought
this.
you were about to like take that on a whole other angle.
Oh no!
I was gonna be like, dude.
No. That's funny though. That's funny.
I mean, you're not wrong, but anytime any guy goes like, women like this, it's like dude, everybody's instantly like, fuck you.
Me and a guy at work were talking about
some women like
me
this.
And a guy at work were talking about the bot. Dude, this guy I work with is funny because he's the most like successful man. Like he's got a beautiful relationship and has kids, and he's just like a amazing father. Like he's just a good dude all around. Mm-hmm. He's Christian. Not that matters, but this is going to be relevant because we were talking about some stuff in the Bible, like just talking like you and I would. Because he's very. I want to have him on the podcast, but I'd be nervous because he's very jokingly misogynistic. Mm-hmm. Like he just is like. So we were talking about Adam and Eve, and was like, I've heard people like say it was about this and that or whatever. Like, because I don't think any of it's literal, obviously. Yeah. So like, what is the representation? What does it represent? And he's like, you know what it represents? Women are the worst creatures on planet Earth. That's all it means.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, women are just trash, and that's what they're telling you. It's not that God has to be a man. It's like, why wouldn't he be? Dude, he's the funniest guy I don't care how offensive that is because he's the funniest guy I've ever met in my life.
That's fucking
hilarious.
He's
the funniest guy I've ever met in my life. And he don't give a shit. And you know what? He's been with his wife since like they were in middle school.
That's because he doesn't actually think like that.
No,
that's
he doesn't.
That's why.
No, he's very because we talked about politics and he's like relatively conservative. But like we were talking about, all this stuff going on, and he goes like, especially with the women's rights stuff and whatever. And he's like, I would expected him to like just, when that came up in conversation once, and he's like, no, it makes sense. Why wouldn't they? He's like, they should be liberal. It'd be crazy if women were. He's like, it's weird to me when women are extremely conservative sometimes, because it's like, really, like, it doesn't represent anything that you are. So it's weird. And I'm like, wow, like he's a smart guy. So he in his joking misogyny is like, it's just so funny because it just comes out of left field sometimes, and it's I don't know. I like shit like that. That's real comedy to me, you know, where you just like throw someone off and just say like the most obscene thing possible sometimes, with there being some kind of level of thought behind it too. And it's just like there's these layers to this joke, you know.
It's interesting to think about, because like the vast majority of women that I know are liberal, or left leaning, and like I think I'm in agreement with most of them, except for, I mean, socially liberal for sure.
I'm socially liberal too, but like I feel like
it is interesting because it is interesting to think about in the veil of like, if you're conservative women or a conservative woman, it's almost like you're what do they call that? What do they Jesus Christ? What are they, like submissive? It's almost like a submissive personality type.
I don't know if that's maybe. Because I used to
Dude,
think
I went
that
to a conservative wedding. I went to a conservative wedding.
Everybody I knew that was, every woman I've ever met that was like I'm talking like proud MAGA, like that shit. Like they are not submissive. They're like quite the opposite. They're like aggressive.
I'm not talking about like extreme that end.
Like I shoot guns and go hunting, and you know what? Trump's the only person.
Those aren't the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people
Trump's
that are
the second coming of Christ. You're like, all right, calm down.
No, I'm not talking about those idiots. I'm talking about like just like a God guns America kind of thing.
Yeah.
But not like fucking someone who's gonna wear like a MAGA hat to a job. Or like, you know, I'm talking like, I went to a conservative wedding, and like half of the sermon was talking about like how it's a woman's duty to submit to her husband. Yeah. And we were all just kind of like looking at each other going like, is that what it's about?
Yeah, I know some really shitty husbands, man. Can you imagine if the women
just submitted to like a guy who has bad ideas?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I'm very socially liberal too. And actually I'm mostly liberal, but I think just politics, and when it comes to politics and money, I feel conservative. Yeah. But for some reason, or I'm not politics. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. When it comes to morality and money, the two big M's, dude. Two big M's. When it comes to the two big M's, I would say I'm very conservative, only for the sake that, like having some control. You know what I mean? Not just like throwing the ball, keeping the ball rolling as it works, right? Like, you know, like this surface is good enough for this ball to keep rolling. Instead of that, instead of just going, well, if we remove the surface entirely, like there's no resistance. That's the liberal side, and that scares me. To go like, yeah, whatever sticks is scary. And I'm not saying that's how liberals think. I'm just saying like a lot of times like policies get thrown in there where you're like, man, that's gonna cause a lot of problems in 20 years. Yeah. You know? So I don't know.
I as I'm getting older, I think I'm leaning more on the conservative side, which is surprising to me because I've been liberal my entire life. Yeah. But now I'm starting to lean towards like I would rather see a meritocracy than see like what the last administration was doing. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't want to see I don't know. I don't want to see people getting put into positions they don't deserve because they check a box. That's not the right way to do it. The people that get put in positions need to be able to do the job, and they need to be the best person for the job. Right. It should be a meritocracy. And like,
if we were a country continuously going to war, we'd want a warlord as our leader. That's the point. You want someone that's going to, and I'm not saying we need a war leader. I'm just saying, using that as an example of like, you need there's shoes to be filled. Let's fill those fucking shoes. Yeah. You know what I mean? If we were a country that was continuously being invaded, we would want someone who could who could fucking save
Well,
us.
I think the main thing people need to remember is like there's things that have to be done that you don't want to do.
Right. Or you don't even want to talk about.
But there's things that have to be done that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And that's fine because there's people that will do it.
Right.
But don't bitch and moan about those people doing the things that you're not willing to do.
Exactly. 100%.
You got to let the men who are going to do the hard thing do the hard thing.
Do the hard
thing.
You
know what I mean? I don't want like. Do I want to be friends with some like intense army guy who like some intense?
No, but
like,
you need that guy. Right?
Do I want to be friends with some like
drill
like a
sergeant?
David Goggins type character where he's
Right.
like, "Run till you die, motherfucker!" Like I don't want to be friends with that guy. I wouldn't have fun with him. Probably. But he's too intense. It's like I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
But do I want him to not exist? Fuck no. I want that guy to exist.
Yeah,
I want that guy, the psycho, who's like, I'm gonna work myself to death because that's what I owe the world.
Yeah, the world needs that.
I want that guy to exist because he needs to exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Do I want to be friends with him? No. But do I want to do what he had to do? No.
Right.
Fuck no. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that like all these. I'm glad that these guys exist, and I don't have to be that guy because I don't want to be that guy. And that's I think that's something that gets forgotten. Like you people judge. I don't know. I mean, just like throw out any like talking point that we've heard on liberal TV in the last 5 years is like cops. My God, cops are all evil. They're all like just people.
Yeah.
And like any profession is, I mean, you take a sample of any profession, there's going to be scumbags all the way through the spectrum to like the best of the best, the most moral, honest, integrity having person that exists. There's the spectrum, So like to just like take a profession and be like, this person's a piece of shit because they're a cop.
Yeah.
Are there pieces of shit that are cops? Yeah, but there's also
I know a state trooper that's very forgiving, very cool, and someone that I've known personally, and he's a cool dude, and he's told me stories of, hey man, I understand. You know, like it's not all like that, dude. It's not.
Right.
There's definitely people who take it to their
see videos of some fucking I mean, like the video, like like you see these videos of people getting shot that don't fucking deserve it. It's like brutal. It's like those are the worst moments of humanity. Like the cop asks this guy for his ID, and he gets his ID out, and the cop fucking murders him in front of his 5-year-old daughter. I mean, it's like that's some of the worst moments of humanity. It's awful.
I think also,
but
that
there's still people.
What is the word?
The vast majority of these.
What is the word where like you take one thing and you turn into everything? Like,
I don't know, but that's
because
that's
it's
the thing
not just that.
They
it's
become
so many
bites.
things. It's like when a couple of Catholic priests were doing their thing, right? Some heinous shit. Now the entire church is like guilty of this. It's I
don't know. If you watch that documentary about like the Boston.
Yeah,
Globe
I know.
There's a lot. I mean, it's not a couple. It's like there was a fucking epidemic in this world.
Well, I didn't know it was that serious. I don't think I've watched that documentary.
You gotta. That one doesn't work.
Okay.
Because there's.
Well, I take it back because I don't want people to have.
Well, so there's like but you got to listen. Like there's like 500,000 cops in the United States.
Right.
And there's been like. A few hundred of these incidences that have been exposed, right? So it's like you do the math on that. It's like exorbitantly rare that these awful things happen.
Yeah.
Especially when you go like, these cops have, 25 calls a shift. I'm making up a number. But if you divide these awful instances by the amount of total calls that happen in a year,
it's a numbers game.
It's incredibly rare.
Yeah.
The priest thing, though, there was political collusion of moving priests to protect them and hide them, and so that they could continue to perpetrate.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. That is actually intentionally fucking criminal. And but does that mean like every person who's like a priest, a pastor, a minister is a fucking rapist? No, but that is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem to be like, hey, you got caught molesting boys, instead of, we're going to not only hide this, but we're going to move you to a new place so you can start your fucking raping all over again with a new renewed reputation. That's that's a big fucking problem.
Did they, by the way, so I never seen that documentary. I'm curious about this because I thought about this after the one podcast where we talked a little bit about this already. Is there any information as to why they moved them around? Like,
to hide it?
No, not that.
Oh.
Is there like some spiritual, like, is there some like deep ingrained where they're like, well, he's like this holy person, so maybe we need to like get these demons out of him or some weird shit like that?
I don't think it's that at all.
Or, or he needs psychological help, but I don't want to remove him from the church.
I think it was strictly maintaining the reputation of the church.
Oh, that's dark.
It's dark.
Fuck.
There's one that gets talked about on
I don't see. I never looked
Rogan
much
all the
into this
time
because it makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that I can't.
It's depressing as fuck to think that someone's doing that. There's one that gets talked about on Rogan all the time where they moved, like he had got caught raping X amount of people, molesting X amount of kids, and they moved him to a school for the deaf, and like continued. So there were, I mean, like that is. Dude, the most evil thing on planet Earth. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I don't know, man. That one is criminally.
Yeah,
I mean it's criminal. It's criminal. That's all it is.
Yeah,
is you're putting the reputation of the church above human suffering. Now that's like as criminal as it gets, especially when your foundation, your organization, is supposed to be the purest.
Right.
Source of humanity, right? That's what you're trying to portray yourself as, is that I'm a beacon to God.
Right.
But then your organization is hiding people, fucking raping people.
Oh.
That's why it's so offensive.
I haven't looked much into it, so I apologize for all the listeners who don't know my ignorance, but I'm ignorant to it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that serious. But I knew it was serious, but I didn't know it was like I thought maybe
it's an organization. I thought they just organized crime.
I didn't know this. I thought there was like a delusion in their heads, like, well, he's been with the church for 40 years, and you know what I mean, that kind of shit.
There's probably some of that, like, well,
and maybe he's just possessed by demons, like crazy shit.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember seeing anything.
But if it is, we're gonna hide him because I mean. I don't know.
They're hiding him to protect.
Why
the
not just get him
reputation
the
of the
fuck
church.
out? Get him the fuck out and let him get fucking arrested. I don't understand why it matters.
That's the short-sightedness of it.
Right.
Because if the first guy who got caught doing that went to prison for the rest of his life,
there wouldn't be this controversy.
There wouldn't be an epidemic of it.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's almost like people theorize that people with those tendencies seek out that career.
Yeah.
Because then you have this availability.
Right.
This you have children around you who are trusted, who's like parents trust you with their kids, and they will leave you
Do you think Michael Jackson did any of that?
Do I think Michael Jackson did any of it? I think Michael Jackson.
Because all of his cases were pretty much settled out of court. But then you got someone like R. Kelly who's locked up, I think, for life, right?
Yeah. So I think. Michael Jackson had been famous since he was like 5 years old. Mm-hmm. It's not a healthy thing for anybody to be that famous.
Yeah.
I think his entire childhood was stolen from him.
Oh, sure. For 100%.
And I think because of that, he fixated where he would have wanted more experiences. I think he got stuck at like 10 years old.
Sure, yeah.
And wanted to stay a 10-year-old.
Yeah. I think that's true, but that's what I mean.
Do I think he fucked any kids?
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's some shit like, wasn't it Macaulay Culkin that like stayed the night at his house when he was like real young? And I don't know, man. I don't know. I think, is it weird for like a 45-year-old like superstar to like have kids come over and like play with him at his house where he has a Neverland ranch where there's like basically like a carnival built there with animals and merry-go-rounds and shit? Yeah, that's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Do I think he fucked any kids? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I don't know. It's so hard to say.
I don't think he was an inherently sexual person with that. I think he just didn't understand the boundaries of, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you ever run into a chick, you ever like meet a chick who's kind of like talks real high pitched and real childish.
Yeah, yeah.
And like they're kind of like a slutty girl who's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's always like, dude, you're like, I don't know, did you start getting abused at like 10 years old? Because you sound like a 10-year-old.
Probably the case, yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
it sucks, but like that's what I see when I see Michael. Like when I think about Michael Jackson, I see a
someone who
I
was
see
abused.
a kid who
yeah.
like became 50.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Interesting.
I just feel sad when I like think about Michael Jackson and like I don't know. He made some of the greatest music of all time.
Right.
But also like I think he mostly I think a lot of it was suffering. I don't think it was like you know,
yeah, he
like,
did. I don't think he found joy in it.
Like
I mean, he did.
Absolute opposite of him for personal life. The absolute opposite of him, but in the same world as him was Luther Vandross, where like he made a successful career.
Yeah.
Doing something else in music, and then eventually became a huge R&B star.
Yeah.
But like Michael Jackson, like from fucking ABC, 5 years old or whatever, the way to, you know, the weird ass albums he was doing with Chris Tucker, you know, like,
I don't know. Yeah. It's weird, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's theories that he was a castrato.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And, I don't know.
I don't know if that's true because there are videos where he uses his man voice. His voice was just his character. He like totally portrayed this character.
You think it was a character?
100%. There's videos of him going, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" Yeah.
Really?
Look at the tits on her.
I've never
There's
seen
a viral
that.
video going around where he's driving around and like he's in the back of like a limo and like there's all these fans and there's like this probably like middle-aged woman and like she's just like jumping around and shit and like he's like, "Wow, look at them bounce," or something like. And he's like, "Yeah." And there's also a video of him like at the awards and he like gets an award. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And he's like, "Anyway," you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a character, man.
Huh. That's a weird character because it's almost like like women want a man for the most like if you're gonna be a pop star, a huge pop star, when you want to be like
everything he did was engineered. Right, like everything about him was engineered. He was like androgynous in a way.
Yeah,
he was
that was
not
kind of
quite man, not quite woman.
Yeah,
and he was there's something
that was big at the time in the 80s. Yeah. It's like every guy was dressing like a
David
woman.
Bowie was a big one too.
And not even David Bowie. I mean, David Bowie, but like metal bands were like all dressing like chicks.
Absolutely.
I don't know, dude. I got a piece so bad.
All right, man.
Cool. Yeah, this is like a weird like. I don't know. It's a kind of an odd spot to stop, but I'm gonna piss my pants if we don't stop.
All right, man.
All right.
We literally end every episode with you having to pee.
Because I drink like it.
I gotta pee. That's the story.
Goodbye.
Good, but a lot of people, that's their story. Good times, Noodle Salad.